Round one. Fight!
Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Tier Ranker Fights. It is episode number 101, and it's also the top 101 movies according to Rolling Stone magazine. So I am your host, Ted Lasso tonight. Forgot my visor over in the other room, so stay tuned for a visor appearance because I got to represent Richmond over here. So, but yeah, just a little word of advice. Be curious. Not judgmental, because when you're curious, you ask questions. But when you're judgmental, you make assumptions. So that's the key to life right there. But we are here to talk about some horror movies. It's something that me and my wife used to watch quite a bit, but now I don't watch so much because I got a son who's fully grown or not quite fully grown. He's about 12 years old. But I'm trying to be careful what I let him watch. So, but we'll get into I've seen a fair amount though back in my day. So we'll get into this thing. We'll bring in my co-host, Austin Pez Howell.
Whirl, Ernest P. Whirl, and happy Halloween to all you young folks out there, especially you, Vern. Just watch out for trolls. Know what I mean?
Yeah. That's some sound advice, but we will go ahead and we will introduce our panel for tonight. We have, may as well go with the one that's the most Halloween theme. We got the Wolfman, Michael Wolfman Wyndham tonight.
What's going on? I've been Michael Myers before, but this time
Nice.
I'm switching things up. I'm Corey Myers, so you're welcome, all you Halloween Ends fans.
And all I can say about that movie is, ew.
Oh, yeah.
If I tried to pull off that move with my mouth, my mustache might go flying off. It's barely hanging on. But
And the challenge is I'm going to wear this for all 2 hours. I'm going to try.
all right,
Good luck.
see if you can stand it. But
See if I can make it.
we also have joining us. We have Mr. Jordan Owens, JPO.
Hey, man. Yeah, I'll be there in a minute, bro. Yeah, keep the brewskis warm. Listen, guys, I got it back out of Tier Ranker, right? I'm going to go have unprotected sex in the woods here at Camp Crystal Lake. Ow!
Yeah. There we go.
What are you, like a hockey player or something?
Yeah.
Oh, shit! Ah!
Yeah.
And we lost one.
All right, Chipio. All right, let's see what's going on.
All right, we'll have to make a quick substitution. So coming in next, we got Mr. Jacob Cameron in the house.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Jason.
So,
What's up, everybody?
hey, what's up? welcome. And we should have a
Is-
Jacob Barber coming soon. Oh, he's here. All right.
Oh, God, it's
Welcome,
Barber.
Jacob.
He scares me.
He's playing the role of B-Rabbit tonight.
Okay.
I'm a white boy, but my neck is red. I like Miracle Whip. I'm Wonder
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Give it up for my main man, George.
Hey, yo, I'm Jason. Not a big fan of water, but I do love a water gun fight. Hey.
Yeah. Sounds good. Just watch out for those lakes, you know.
Not
Be
too
careful.
soon, Jordan. Too soon.
Yeah. But
Sensitive about that shit.
yeah, but Austin or Ernest, you want to break it down how it's going to work for anyone that might be tuning in?
Yeah, so we got 101
While you do
horror
that.
movies based on the Rolling Stone list that they put out, the article of the 101 greatest horror movies ever made. So we put them all into the tier ranker. I'll kind of bring it on screen here so you can get a little preview. But essentially what it is we got all the movies down in the pool there. And how tier ranker works is we have all the tiers you can see here. S is for superior. That is the S tier, the best of the best. Right at the top there. Then the rest go like grades in school, A, B, C, D, F. We have a tier for haven't seen. We need at least 3 people on the panel to have seen it to give it qualifying votes. So that's how, if we don't have enough there, it goes into the haven't seen category. And what we'll do is we'll go up and down the ladder here. Everybody will get a chance to nominate something from the pool of movies, and then give us a reason why you put it in whatever tier you're going to put it in. And everybody else will get a chance to chime in on that, whatever tier they would put it in, and we'll come to a consensus with my handy dandy and very scientific tier ranker chart voting list here that I keep track of. It becomes very handy. Oh yeah. So, once we get to the end, we'll go about 2 hours or so. Then we'll have a Hail Mary last chance round where you get a chance to nominate some other things that haven't been brought up yet. I'll explain a little more about that when we get there. And then we'll kind of, once we get everything in the proper tiers, we'll actually rank the individual tiers. So we'll rank that S tier. We want to look for 10 in the S tier tonight, which shouldn't be that difficult given the list of movies. There's a lot of good movies on here, but only allowing 10 up in there. Then we'll have 3 honorable mentions from the A tier, and those will all be in our poll this week on the Schmodown Friends and Family group, and that's how it works. And as we go up and down, just keep your responses to 30 seconds to a minute or so, just so we can keep the show moving. But having said that,
too long, you'll have to blow my whistle at you to move it along.
Oh, you should do that.
Hey,
Might be
easy
a
on the
violation.
earbuds. Easy on the earbuds.
Yeah.
All right. But speaking of that, I will repost the list in our messenger group as we did earlier, right down at the bottom, so you can take a look at it. Otherwise, I will scroll in here nice and tight, and we will see what we got down here. I should have all these in alphabetical order, so it should be fairly easy. But that's how it works. If anybody has any questions, otherwise we'll get things going.
Gonna be a scary good time, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Scary dude.
Lots of people don't know that's my accent because no one ever lets me speak.
Well, I mean, he is a country boy and a mama's boy, so
I never
it might
heard
sound something like
No,
that.
he's technically from Jersey, so he'd have a Jersey accent.
I was
That's not
born
necessarily
on
true, though.
vacation, Jacob. Don't you
We
judge
don't know
me.
that.
And Joe Bob Briggs even said, he's a Jersey guy.
Well, that Joe Bob don't know shit. I tell you.
I always thought he
Don't know
was
nothing.
from Turkey.
Mhm.
What? Gobble gobble.
I always thought he's from Manhattan.
No, I did visit
Oh, dear.
once. It was fun. I fucking punched the dude's heads off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think he's been in Manhattan too long. That's the problem.
That's right.
Well,
We'll
I've
get
only
things started.
been in America, and I've crossed the pond once, but that's about it. Over to the UK.
Jacob Barber, you'll be up, sir.
Yeah.
Who do you want to nominate first? What do you got?
Yeah, let's just get this one out of the way because I feel like this is the one that was probably being referred to in the chat earlier. Jaws, S tier,
Mhm.
absolute
Yes.
S tier. Yeah, I mean, what can we say about this movie that hasn't been said before? It's a not your serial killer, that type of horror movie, but I mean it's a different type.
If a shark kills multiple people, is he not a serial killer? Is that human specific?
it's just human specific. Come on,
He's a serial eater, so it's different because he's eating them.
Yeah.
He's just hungry.
yeah, he's not. He doesn't know he's killing them. He's like, oh,
Just coming up
Dude.
for a light
Yummy.
snack,
Yummy.
Well, he's still killing them. It's not about
not that
knowing it.
he doesn't
Yeah.
know that though.
Those are instincts. Yeah.
Yeah, just like you stab people, it's an instinct.
My bad. My bad.
But no,
Alright.
Jaws, S tier. Yeah, I just feel like this is the one that was being referred to in the chat. So I was like, let's get this out of the way. Let's do this one first and see if
It's either that or some
correct.
or a different one that I'm thinking of. It's
Yeah.
one of two. We'll maybe get to
find
that one
out.
at some point. Jacob
Right.
Cameron. What do you think of
Yeah.
Jaws?
I mean, yeah, Jaws absolutely belongs in the S tier, especially it's one of the best ever. But even when you consider what happened in the making of it, just the production hell that just went through it, the shark just wouldn't work. it was supposed to be more involved, but just because the actual shark kept malfunctioning, just the fact that they were able to carve something out from just that horrible production, it absolutely belongs in S tier.
Yeah, totally. All right, Mr. Jason, what you got?
Hey y'all. Yeah, no, I agree. I think S tier as well. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I actually wonder if it would be an S tier if they made the exact film they wanted to, because I think it worked out in a weird way for the better. And yeah, I think iconic wise, yeah, this belongs S tier.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Wolfman.
Well, yeah.
The more I watch Jaws, the more I think it's an F tier. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I'll take you on.
This film is absolutely an S tier. Greatest shark movie ever made. The 3D remaster scared the bejeebies out of me. It was amazing. I loved it. So yeah, this movie made me afraid to go in the water. So it's fantastic.
If you had been serious about that F tier, we're gonna have to kick your ass like Busta Rhymes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Remember, this is
Corey.
the Corey version of Mike.
Yeah, I'm Corey.
Sorry.
If I can't,
so
no one can.
So you can kick his ass even easier than actual Michael Myers.
No, because I kicked Michael Myers' ass, so suck it.
Your
He's
movie's
also
just a
70%.
notch above mine, above the Busta.
Amazing masterpiece here, a top 10 movie of all time. So yeah, this is an easy S tier. The greatest animal attack movie ever made. Name a better one. You can't. A great adventure film in the second half. Great horror moments. Great tension and the way they were able to kind of work around the shark and just get glimpses of it. So we finally do, which I still think it looks good. I think it's a hell of a mechanical shark they made for this movie. But phenomenal character work as well. It's just a great script, and the chemistry between the three lead actors are all top notch. So no, it's an easy S tier. Now, Jordan,
Well,
what are you gonna do with it?
I don't have as much of a hot take as you would think about Jaws. I don't think it's an all-timer like everyone else in the world does. I just don't get it. The first half kind of bores me, and then the second half is good. But and there's some great characters, I will say. But it's not as low as you might think. I'm going to give it an A. So it's not my biggest hot take of the night. I'll just say that, but I'll say A.
Okay, so it must be the other one. Must be the other one I'm thinking of.
I don't have to push you down a stairwell, so you'll be fine.
No,
No.
not yet. Just wait.
Oh,
All right, Mr. Cameron, where would you like to go first?
All right. Let's go with 28 Days Later, and let's put it directly in A tier. Because I think this movie is very good indeed, especially when you consider all the work that they had to do to put into it, with Danny Boyle having to shoot in London at like the crack of dawn in order to get the result that he wanted. It's got a pretty loaded cast, including Cillian Murphy. Christopher Eccleston is in there as well. It's a freaky zombie movie. Like, it's one of those where it like takes the zombies from like these slow walkers to just they're running directly at you. So it's definitely A tier. I'd also recommend 28 Weeks Later as well. It's not as good as 28 Days, but I'd also recommend 28 Weeks. 28 Weeks is very good.
Oh yeah, 28 Weeks rules.
All right,
But
JPO.
JPO.
I'm glad you said A tier because I'll agree with A tier. Not quite S for me, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Danny Boyle. I like the way he shoots this. Walking Dead pretty much stole the intro from this. Guy waking up and trying to figure out what the fuck's going on around him. Big Cillian Murphy fan. That's where I and many people kind of first grew to him. And I agree. And let's get 28 months later out there. Come on.
Yeah,
let's go. Get on it.
Also, The Walking Dead took a lot from In the Mouth of Madness. The ending of In the Mouth of Madness, if any of you have ever seen that.
Yeah.
No.
They're eerily similar.
But Wolf.
Yeah, 28 Days Later is one of the best zombie movies. I actually think the lower budget actually helps it. Like, it actually makes it a little bit more. There's something about it where tonally it's more eerie. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like that. So it's really, really good. And Cillian Murphy is great in the film. And then also it's all around amazing film. I'm just waiting for the sequel 28 months later. I don't know when we're gonna get
I mean,
that.
considering the movie came out in 2002, if they actually wanted to wait 28 years to like 2030,
28 years. Yeah.
28 years later, it's right there.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You
That's
can
true.
thank me later, Danny Boyle.
I mean, hey, they just announced a day follow, so I mean, after like what, several years, so they could do something like that.
Yeah.
Where
Well,
are you gonna put
Austin,
it?
what do you-
Where are you gonna put it? You never said.
Oh, A tier. Yeah.
Okay. Need those letter grades. 28 Days Later is an S tier. This is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. I think this movie gets better and better every time I watch it. The guerrilla kind of style filmmaking of it just ratchets up the tension, especially stuff like the tunnel sequence and some of the stuff in the house later on. Just an absolute assault on your senses. And the way they were able to squeeze this apocalyptic vibe out of a relatively small budget with what Danny Boyle was working with, I think is tremendous. Yeah, I love Brendan Gleeson in that movie too. He's great. Great stuff all around. It's an S tier for me.
Yeah, well, I'm just over here enjoying some cookies, or as they call it over in jolly old England, biscuits over there. So it's good stuff. But as far as 28 days later goes, yeah, I'd also give it an S tier. I think that it was great what Danny Boyle was able to achieve. I like the cinematography a lot, and just like the shots of the zombie creature. When I first saw it, really, really scared because you see the eyes turning red or like reddish yellow or whatever they turn, and then yeah, there's just some like really haunting shots of like the infected. I'll say them, the kind of zombies, but and yeah, just seeing them run too. They run. They're not slow moving zombies, so that adds a level to it. So I'll give it S, but it's pretty low. Out of all the movies that I have on my pre-ranking for S, it's at the bottom. So I'll still say S, but it's low. S.
All right, Mr. Barber.
Yeah.
B-Rabbit needs a nap.
I do need a nap. It's been a long day. But I'm going to agree with the majority here and go A tier for 28 days. It's a movie that I just recently watched for the first time and haven't gone back to it since. It was a good movie. The performances were all great. The tone, like the filmmaking, I think was excellent. I'm more of I want the prequel, 28 minutes later.
It's just what happened in that lab, like right after the monkeys got out. It's like only 28 minutes later,
That's what I want. I just
And
want to
then,
know what
like,
happened.
yeah, a bunch of affected monkeys running around biting people's necks and stuff. Like that would be a nice prequel.
That's what I want to see. So, but I'm going to agree with the A tier. But on rewatches, I could potentially see it going up to an S tier for me.
All right. So 2 S's and 4 A's. We need about 3 A's usually to at least skirt it into the S tier. So we'll stay where it is right now. And we'll go to JPO. You got it.
All righty. Well, first of all, I can't believe I'm here with Corey, a man that was sat right next to the person I'm going to nominate. Let's go to Halloween. Let's get that on the S tier. Just
I beat his ass.
I know, I can't believe it. I mean, I don't think you could have taken this Michael Myers. But
yeah, congratulations. You beat a 65-year-old Michael Myers who was beaten down from a mob attack and just taking a coma in a tunnel. Yeah. real threatening dude there.
Yes, you did defeat Grandpa Myers. But yeah, the OG, get it on S tier. I just think it's a transcending. It's a slower burn, slower body count than what you would see later on. But I think it's fantastic, that we're still all these years later, got the follow-ups to it and whatnot. So I think it belongs there. And also, twist, I'm not Jason. I'm the paramedic from New Blood or whatever.
You're Roy.
I'm getting hot, so I'm the paramedic now.
What a twist.
Oh, no.
We're both the imposters.
Roy with the chocolate bar eating son? What?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, you just trying to be nice. Give the guy a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
don't help with
Michael Myers is in the house. What do you say about Halloween?
It's Corey.
I'm Corey Myers.
We're not voting on Halloween ends. That would be F tier.
Yeah, but
no, that'd be S tier.
I would take this Michael Myers on any day of the week too. All right, just saying.
And get your ass kicked.
and For me, I of course have to give this S tier. This is iconic, one of the best horror movies ever made. I actually saw this in the theater. It was my first Halloween movie because they did a re-release at my theater. So that was awesome to see that in the theater. And yeah, this is one I watch every year, so it's fantastic. I will go S tier for 1978. It's Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds good. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, great year for horror, 1978, as I might talk about at some point tonight. It's something to where, tomorrow night is Halloween, and there's a good chance in any horror fan's living room on their television at some point on Halloween night, this movie will be coming on their television. And that's for a good reason, because it sets the mood, an amazing score, amazing direction. It still works. I've seen it on the big screen 4 or 5 times. Worth it as well if you get a chance to. And what's to say? It's one of the greatest horror movies ever made, and rightfully so. So yeah, S tier.
Yeah. This movie's right near the top for me. Yeah, I think that's probably the greatest horror movie. Like, if I'm being objective, of all time for me. But I mean, if I'm going with my heart, it's close to the top. Maybe not. Like, it's in the top 5 still. But and yeah, if it's playing somewhere, I'm gonna check my local theater and see if they're showing that or anything else, because I don't got any plans for the day of Halloween. I had stuff all weekend and like today and stuff, but like on Halloween, it's like I don't really want to sit home and pass out candy, so I'll find something or just watch it at home maybe. But but it's an easy S tier. I mean, Michael Myers is just one of the iconic characters, and the way that it's done is just like unlike any slasher movie that I've ever seen. There's just some really cool stuff. So yeah. S tier.
Mr. Barber.
Yeah.
Oh, easy S tier. This is my favorite horror movie, and just one of my favorite movies. Period. I think just the it's just such a simple story. No matter how convoluted the timeline gets, later on, you can always go back to this one and just appreciate it. Just the way Michael Myers moves. Jamie Lee Curtis gives a great performance. It's a staple in my home every Halloween season, and even when it's not Halloween season, if I'm just in the mood for a good horror movie, like 8 out of 10 times, this is the one I'm gonna pick. So easy S tier for
60% of the time it works. Every time.
Yeah,
that's right. Mr. Cameron.
Yeah,
I mean, S tier all the way. I don't think I can add anything else. It's really just a combination of the sun, the moon, the planets, and all the stars coming into perfect alignment just to create just magic right there. And they've tried to replicate it, and it will never be precisely duplicated.
Okay, well,
it's close to Halloween too. Rob Zombie's Halloween too. Am I right?
yeah.
Hey, Curse of Michael Myers is pretty damn good. Both cuts, am I right?
More of a resurrection, yeah.
Yeah, but clean sweep for the Halloween, so it is in the lead right now.
Hard to go wrong with John Carpenter,
Yeah, so we will scoot it on up to Michael, who did not nominate Halloween, but we'll see what he does nominate.
Well, what I will nominate is, of course, I'm going to go with first trying to get an obscure one in there. This is one of my most popular reviews I did recently. I reviewed it last month. This is the most disturbing movie I've ever seen. I wrote it in the tag that this is going to be the most disturbing movie I ever review. But the thing is, the more I think about it, the more this is an S tier, and that is Martyrs. Martyrs is a French film that is super duper disturbing about this girl who is pretty much tested on and like tortured, and so like she's being haunted by her nightmares, and so she goes to try to kill the people who, I'm not going to give too much away, but she tries to kill the people who did this to her, and things go awry, and it is extremely disturbing, but it is such a powerful movie and a very emotional movie, and you really connect to them and every character, and the villain in this movie. Oh my goodness, the villain is excellent. So yeah, Martyrs to me is absolutely an S tier. This film is fantastic. So I will go with Martyrs.
All right. Well, Austin, what do you?
I'm building up the courage to watch it. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen the shitty remake.
Dude. They're both on Tubi. Come on, watch the French one instead of the shitty remake.
Yeah. Well, for me, I haven't seen it either, so I can't comment.
Mhm.
Jacob Barber, what do you say?
Did
You guys haven't seen
Mr.
this?
Cameron?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, neither have
Mr. Cameron,
Haven't seen it.
JPO.
So I've heard good things about this. When Netflix DVDs was dying, I rented it and I fucked up and got the new one. So I haven't seen it, unfortunately. I tried and I fucked up.
Oh, bro. Oh, at least you tried. Like,
I was like Martyrs. I put it at the top of the list. It's like the second or third one I
All
got.
right.
And I was like, I thought this was a different language.
all right. I'll go.
All right, Wolfman, that's your mulligan, so you got to make this one count. Otherwise,
Okay,
you don't
this
get another
one
turn.
I know that y'all have seen. So since I
Black
am the
Cat,
Wolfman,
do it.
since I am the Wolfman, I will go with American Werewolf in London, and I will put that one in S tier. That one is absolutely fantastic. It's regarded as the best werewolf movie for a reason. It's emotional. It's hilarious. It's powerful. The makeup was Oscar winning, by the way. It had some. It was a fantastic makeup job. You had a fantastic characters in here that you just were rooting for. It was just. And the design, just the transformation looks like it hurts so freaking bad in this movie. Like it is so good. I will watch this movie all the time, and it is like Ginger Snaps is my favorite werewolf movie, but objectively, I feel like this is the best werewolf movie. Like it's awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, this movie's great,
Werewolf
and
London.
I go see the horror makeup show a lot at Universal, and they still talk about this movie and have the little, mechanical, air things that they use to kind of for the facial transformation and all that. Still talk about it. And it probably is objectively maybe the greatest werewolf movie ever made. It's not a personal favorite of mine. Like I watch it about once a year. It's really really good. So I will say it's probably a lower S tier. Like I'd vote a lot of these other movies above it, but I'll still give it a low S.
Yeah. So I really like American Werewolf in London. What John Landis was able to create with like some of the practical effects and the and just the atmosphere, some of the cinematography, and I just really like when once the guy transforms, then his friend who's already dead, he keeps coming back, and he's like one more decade each time. I think that's a fun element, and yeah, I really dig American Werewolf. And when I was a little late too, I saw it maybe like 2 years ago for the first time. But yeah, I'll give it an S tier. It's pretty low. I have it kind of down at the bottom of my S tier by 28 days later, but I'll still say S tier.
All right, Mr. Barber.
I might be the minority on this one because I watched this and I thought, yeah, that was good. I mean, if we were talking like makeup and all that, like S tier for that alone. But as a movie, for me personally, like I have it maybe at a high B, low A. I'll go high B. I thought it was good. I thought there was some good comedy. I liked it, but it's just nothing really stuck out to me other than like the transformation and the makeup. And it's like, well, I mean, that was great, but the story overall just didn't really sit with me as much as some of these other movies that I've seen on the list have. So yeah, like a high B.
All right, Mr. Cameron.
Yeah.
Easy S tier. I didn't watch it until I believe it was last year, and I loved it from the first time I saw it for all the reasons that were just mentioned. Just one of the best werewolf movie by a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And JPO.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty dumb movie. It's actually something I remember seeing for the first time very young. I remember watching it with my parents and digging it too. Like good old effects, the transformation, like you said. This is the kind of, I think, when you think of a werewolf transformation done right, you kind of think of this movie here. Some humor as well. I remember one of the shows I was on, we didn't think about it for horror comedies, and someone mentioned that. I was like, yeah, that's true. That kind of does belong to be up there. So I'm right on the cusp of S and A. I'll agree with S though. I think it's close enough to where I've been leaning over as well.
Okay, so it's actually going to stay right where it is, right there, right behind Jaws in this tier. All right, and it's my turn.
Awesome.
So I may risk a haven't seen on this one, but I just want to talk about it, being the fan of this franchise that I am. I'm going to talk about Godzilla 1954, which is on this list. So Gojira. Yeah, and we'll see what happens here, but I at least want to talk about it. Otherwise, I'll pull something you guys have definitely seen. But yeah, you guys know I'm a massive Godzilla fan. I pick it a lot for Battleground, and I get super nerdy about it, and I usually win that because of it. It helped me knock out Henry Sanchez, which I appreciated. In the Battleground.
Henry Pez is talking shit.
Yeah, I even said tier ranker. But yeah, I think this movie's amazing. Actually, when you watch this original cut of it, it's an allegory for the atomic bomb in Japan. And Godzilla kind of represents, what atomic energy can do and how it can devastate a city. It's got a pretty dark tone. There's stuff with like moms and daughters, talking about how daddy won't, is gone now, won't be coming back. The incredible special effects for the time with the guy in the suit. Speaking of somebody who might get very, very sweaty, like Wolfman in that Michael Myers thing, the guy in the original suit in this one passed out multiple times because of how hot that damn thing was. But it's still a really great monster movie, obviously very influential in starting kind of this kaiju genre and a franchise that's still going today, obviously still strong with Godzilla -1 and Godzilla vs. Kong 2 coming out, still going strong 7 years later. So we'll see what happens here, but I'm going to go S tier for the original Gojira. Jordan?
That'll be a big, haven't seen it from me, so.
I've been telling you to see it for forever.
Yeah.
Mr. Barber, anybody else?
So I have seen this, and it was, I think, last year sometime. I was asking for recommendations because I was doing a marathon. There were different things. I was like, one of them was a recommendation, and you had actually recommended this, and so I chose it because.
Oh, you were wanting to do stuff for different decades, right? Was that what it was?
Yeah. Well, no, that was earlier this year. Last year it was just different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different categories, and a recommendation from a friend was one of them. And you had mentioned Godzilla, and I was like, well, I'll do that one. It was because I think also the runtime was very enticing. So, and no, I'll agree. I'm not going to quite put it in the S tier because I did only see it the one time, and I kind of reserve that for movies that are kind of all timers for me. But I do think it was really good, and it's one that I want to revisit. I thought it was just really well made, if for the 50s. So I'll give it an A.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Mr. Cameron.
Yeah,
I'm going S as well. I don't think that like this movie, like you mentioned, Pez, it was an allegory for Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and it was a particularly effective one. If you go through the history of the Japanese Godzilla movies, Godzilla was never treated this seriously again, and I low-key kind of missed that because the movie.
He might be in this new movie actually, this -1, because it's post World War II. Yeah. Japan again, and it's almost like kind of a retooling of the series, so it might be treated somewhat seriously in this new one. We'll have to see.
I hope so, because with the later sequels, we get the Smog Monster and the Son of Godzilla and Jet Jaguar. It just becomes
Jet Jaguar.
But yeah, like I said, I don't think Godzilla will ever be treated this seriously ever again. So it's it's a masterpiece.
All right, JPO.
I'm surprised you guys like it that much. I mean, I thought Matthew Broderick wasn't very good in it, so I'm just not a huge fan. Oh, sorry, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
That was his father that was in it.
Wolf.
So luckily, before Godzilla vs. Kong came out, I decided to watch the original Godzilla and the original King Kong, and then watch the original Godzilla vs. King Kong. So I was like on a binge like that. And so I have seen this the one time, and I would tell you, just after the one time, yeah, this absolutely deserves S tier. This film is fantastic. It is the design of Godzilla in this actually looks amazing still. Like you watch it and it still holds up like incredibly well. And I'm actually very excited for Monarch, the new Godzilla show coming out. That's just I'm just really excited for that. But yeah, this one was fantastic. And like Austin said, it's an allegory. I love those kind of things. And this actually made Godzilla scary. None of the other Godzilla things that came out made him feel scary. This one made him feel like actually terrifying. So that's why I'm going to give S tier to Godzilla.
They came close, but they would never recapture the same magic again.
Yeah, you had more serious ones like Shin Godzilla recently as well. Had a more serious tone. Yeah, you had a few serious ones in the 90s. But yeah, none were as dark as this one, I think. So yeah, we'll see about the new one. I'm pleasantly surprised. 3 S's and an A, so it'll skirt in there. Probably won't end up being there by the end of the show. It'll probably get bumped with the 3, but we'll see what happens. So I'm pleasantly surprised, though. Thank you, guys. Cool. All right, Jordan, what do you?
Yeah, so I'll go with one that's not quite at the top of my list, but it's very, very close. And I'm going to go with Midamar. So I think that movie is great. It's my favorite Ari Aster movie. And for whatever reason, I didn't know there was a director's cut. I need to go back and see the director's cut because I was someone.
It's only on like a random Blu-ray that's hard to find,
and it's on the A24 shop. If you go to the A24 shop,
they have a directly A24. Yeah.
You're not Corey.
The party do the review the director's cut. So, but
the only reason I took off my mask is my girlfriend brought me Chick-fil-A. Okay, I'll make an exception for Chick-fil-A. I'll put it back on.
Yeah.
So
That's
okay.
I'm gonna go the whole show. He didn't go 40 minutes.
But yeah, Midamar is awesome. Like it's really what like really cemented Florence Pugh as like a powerhouse actress for me. And I always like Will Poulter when he pops up, and then just like the crazy cult stuff. And whenever I see that little triangle shaped building, just seeing that building, just like it gives me the chills. So yeah, I'll go S tier for Midamar.
Okay, Mr. Barber.
This is another one that I've seen the one time, and I thought it was really, really good. Great performances all around, and like yeah, for me when I'm talking all time like that S tier, I'm kind of reserving for movies that I've seen multiple times and that I've revisited, and I still. You know, the feeling is the same as that first watch. And so I haven't quite done that with Midamar yet. I mean, if we were ranking like the last 5 years, like absolutely I'd go S tier. But I think all time right now for me personally, I'm going an A tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Aaron.
All right, so I am going to go B tier on this one. This is by no means like I don't hate this movie, but it's one where I respectfully just am like I just don't understand. Like this is the one where I said this is definitely Ari Aster being a little more style over substance, because this feels like a more pretentious and a more wacky version of The Wicker Man, the Christopher Lee one, which is also on this list. I feel like it's The Wicker Man, but in Sweden. And I feel like it was done way more effective there. And I feel like it gets a little high on its own supply, and it tries so hard to be crazy and out of its mind that it takes me out of it so much. I'm just sitting there like, how did they get that guy in the bear suit? Was there lubricant involved? And I just made that dirtier than I intended. But, you know,
lots of lube.
Just run through my head. Those questions run through my head. Like when I'm watching it, I'm just like how? And shouldn't be doing that. And like, how did the guy get turned into a scarecrow? So it feels like I said, very nice to look at, very well made. Florence Pugh is great in it. I just feel like this idea has been done more effectively. Like I said, style over substance, but the style's good though.
Yeah. Well, some Swedish, whatever you want, spring magic or whatever. But JPO.
Holy crap! Jacob, did you give it a B?
Yes.
Good, because I agree.
I'm
I'm sorry, I'm kind of with Jacob on this one. I always have been since day one. I also feel everything he said to a degree, and I also feel the length here. You know what I mean? We've disagreed on length sometimes here, but this is one where I do feel it, and I'm ready for it to wrap up a little sooner. And then I think it is style over substance to a degree, so it's good, but it's not an all timer for me. It's B.
All right. Well, Wolf, what do you think?
I'm going to say something kind of unpopular, but Jordan might like it.
All right.
This is Ari Aster's best movie. I actually think it's better than Hereditary, in my opinion.
Whoa.
Same here.
It is a film that is really, really affected me viscerally. And it was when I watched it in theater. And first off, the cinematography itself is breathtaking. One of the best, most beautiful looking movies I've ever seen in my life. And then Florence Pugh, her performance was just gut wrenching. Like the edit that they did of where she's like, you see like her sister is like dead, and she's just like does almost a Toni Collette kind of cry herself. Like it is, your heart breaks for her. You're with her on this journey, and then the ending is haunting. The ending of Hereditary is like, what the fuck? But the ending of Midsommar is like actually viscerally haunting and got to me, and was actually something that was really, really effective. And so for me, I am not, if it comes, like, give me 5 more years and then I can say maybe S tier. But for now, I'll say very high A for me, because this is, I think it's a little bit too soon to say S tier. That's just me personally so far. But I would still say a very high A for me, because I adore this film, and it's Ari Aster's masterpiece. So,
yeah. Austin.
Yeah, I'm kind of right in line with what Jacob Barber said, as far as like with the subject of tonight being kind of like the greatest of all time, like those masterpieces, that you could watch over and over and over again. Midsommar is a very, very good movie. When we did like 2010s horrors, I put it in the S tier, things like that. Very specific topics. I'll put it in the S tier. I also agree with Mr. Cameron. I think there's a better cult movie on this list that I would vote for S tier. That is kind of the OG and does it way better. I always said like way, way better. Midsommar is very, very good. So I would vote an S tier in certain circumstances. For this all-timer, I've only seen it 3 times. I watch it about once a year, check in on it. But I'll still go A tier, like a strong A for this one. Because they're just like, I have like literally probably 20 or 25 movies ranked higher than this on this list. So yeah, that's where
it surprised me, because this movie's so like newer compared to other movies. I've already seen it like a dozen times. Like I just rewatched this movie a lot.
Yeah, no, everybody's different with their taste, as we've seen with somebody's views on Jaws. All right, Mr. Barber.
Back to me.
Back to you, sir. Back down to you.
All right. Let's go. There were a couple that I was debating between. Let's go with The Fly.
All right. I knew you were going to go there eventually tonight. Yeah. I was going to leave it for you, Jacob. We're right in that line.
Appreciate, yeah. The Fly, I think, is an S tier. This is a movie that I came to for the first time last year, and it was one of those movies that I finished watching it, and then I wanted to immediately watch it again. And that hasn't happened very often with movies for me. Like, I think just like the body horror aspect of it, I don't think it gets better than this, in my opinion. No, I'm not saying I'm like the biggest horror fan, big horror expert. So if it has been done better, I just don't know yet, because I haven't seen it. But I think this movie is incredible. I think Jeff Goldblum gives a tremendous performance. Gina Davis, I think she's incredible as well. Let's just just the as he's transforming into the Fly, I think just all the practical effects I think are just incredible. So just based on the fact that this is a movie that after I watched it, I wanted to immediately watch it again and just watch all the behind the scenes stuff. I think this is an S tier horror movie.
All right, Mr. Cameron, what do you think?
So I don't know if I have to turn in my H card, but I have not seen this movie from cover to cover. I've seen clips. I know the important stuff. I just have not seen it from beginning to end. But yeah, I know.
Card.
I've earned that. I deserve that. Yes,
there's going to be a red card in European football rules.
So I don't know if that counts as having seen or not, but if I had,
you just all it is you abstain. You abstain from voting. So
all right, then I abstain.
All right.
Also,
All right.
Jordan, you don't have to say European football. You can just say football.
Football.
Well,
we know.
Yeah,
Ball.
Well, I'm from America, and we celebrate American football over there. We don't know anything about no soccer.
Yeah, with our great American football team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who travel over there this year twice.
Yeah, twice.
Just stayed over, just hung around.
I wish it just stayed for the week. I wonder what they did.
Yeah, hung out. Go see Big Ben. Parlay. JPO. What you got?
You can tell this is an old Blu-ray because it's explaining what Blu-ray is.
Oh yeah, one of those from like
I was like,
one of those from like what 2009 or 2010,
yeah.
like when Blu-ray was first coming around.
High definition.
Yeah.
Blu-ray
Better.
is like a DVD.
10 times better than
quality.
DVD.
Yeah.
I love
great
those-
battle with HD DVD.
I love those
Yes.
original DVDs and it's like, special features and it actually says like interactive menu. Like they let
Yeah.
you know like
Mhm.
it's got an interactive menu.
Whoa, mind blown.
Chapters. What? Fly is really good. I've been meaning to rewatch it because it has been a hot minute. But yeah, I usually have it relatively high and well regarded too. So I'm gonna say A for me.
You suck.
Ooh, okay.
Hot take. I'm just letting people know.
Wolfman, what would you say?
The Fly. Another one that I think won the Academy Award for Best Makeup, and rightfully so. The makeup job in this is incredible. Jeff Goldblum's best performance. This film is really emotional, really like the ending is really devastating. And that's because you really get attached to these characters. And when what happens, it is like such an emotional experience. This is a very beautiful movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember really loving it. But I will give it an A, not an S. Sorry.
Yeah, and Wolfman, you just do your Mass COVID style. Like you get to take it off when you eat and drink, but then you put it back on.
Yeah, that's how Corey did it. So
yeah,
there you go.
which is like not effective, but anyway. Austin, what do you say?
No, this is easy S tier. This is like a top 5 horror movie of all time for me. This movie is so good. Jacob Barber and I bonded on the fact that I literally did the exact same thing he did the first time I saw this movie, and I blind bought like the special edition DVD, and I watched it, was blown away, devastated, emotionally, just everything, and then watched it with the commentary, and then a couple days later just watched it again. Loved it. Thought it was amazing. This movie's so rewatchable. The performances can be studied. Jeff Goldblum's performance, I think, we talked about it on Rankum about horror movie performances that could have been nominated for an Oscar. I think his physical transformation and his performance that goes along with it certainly is something to behold. And this is an S tier for me.
Yeah, and I'm actually looking at my list. I actually have seen less than 50. For some reason, I thought it was 50. It's 44, so I've seen less than half. But I kind of want to just say where I have it ranked out of my 44. So for each movie, I have The Fly ranked 9th. And 9th for me is still enough for S tier because I'll give about my top 20 S tiers. And The Fly is awesome. That it's Cronenberg's masterpiece. It's I agree, Wolf, that it's Jeff Goldblum's best performance, and Gina Davis is great in it. Yeah, it's just really, really good. So, and also shout out to The Simpsons. I always go back and watch that Simpsons parody or that Bart is the Fly. So yeah, with the Fly.
All right, well, Mr. Cameron, what you got going on next? What do you got?
All right. So let's see what we got here left. I'm thinking what looks good. Stop. Let's go the original King Kong. That's an easy S tier right there.
Okay.
We were talking earlier about the original Godzilla. The original King Kong belongs in the conversation of best monster movie of all time. Just from a special effects standpoint, the movie just has not aged a day. I mean, it has in certain areas because of the technology, but I'll never forget like watching the documentary that Peter Jackson did of him trying to recreate a sequence that wasn't included in the movie, the spider pit scene, and him struggling with the tech and having to physically like move things and like actually like this is the dude that made Lord of the Rings and him actually struggling to recreate it. That speaks to how ahead of its time King Kong was. It's a really good story too. And so the original King Kong is just one of those, like the original Godzilla. They never treated King Kong with that same level of like scares like ever since.
Yeah, sounds good. JPO, what do you say for the original King Kong?
Yeah, no, I'm glad. I know we talked some Godzilla to get to that one, but yeah, this is one I have grown up on and have always loved. And yeah, it's got a beautiful story, iconic last line, and yeah, I think this belongs here. So S tier.
Okay. Wolfman.
So yeah, I have seen this one. I actually, I'm more of a King Kong guy myself than I am Godzilla. I know it's not popular to say that, but I am. I grew up more with King Kong. However, I prefer Peter Jackson's King Kong actually over this one. I actually think it's even better. Like Peter Jackson's King Kong is awesome in my opinion.
They spend literally 45 minutes on a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like a 3-hour movie. So imagine 45 minutes and the whole rest is King Kong in action and it's awesome.
Yeah, it'd be great if they did like this movie and just spent 10 minutes on the boat, just got to Skull Island faster.
Yeah.
And I actually like that version of King Kong, but the original just is way more efficient.
There's just some things in there that come across still kind of like, see, I think there's amazing effects in this movie, but then there's also like with Godzilla, the original, it's like how they shot it. Yeah, he's in a rubber suit and stuff, but it's like the way that they shot it to make him look bigger and all this. Like, it was very, very well done. And that's can be said here too. But there are a couple things I noticed that don't hold up a little bit whenever I watched it. Maybe I need to see it again, but I still am going to give this like a high A though. I still think this is a really good movie. So, yeah.
Yeah. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, no, I rewatched this one actually like 6 months ago. I bought it on Vudu. It was on sale, and it had been a minute since I watched it. Yeah, and it knocked my socks off. I thought this movie's great. Yeah, I prefer this over the Peter Jackson version. I like the 76 Kong as well, but I still, if I had to pick one, I pick this one. But I do have a soft spot for the 76 one. I love Kong Skull Island. That's my favorite of the current MonsterVerse movies.
That movie was way better than it had any.
That movie's so badass. It's just like as far as like a badass movie, like monster movie, it's great. But yeah, if you want like one of the original classy ones, like in that Godzilla vein, yeah, it's a phenomenal story, brilliantly acted. It was way more brutal than I remember it being. Like him just straight up picking up and eating people sometimes near the end. But yeah, a phenomenal achievement. Especially for the time, for 1933. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff in like 32, 33. They were really pushing boundaries around then. And I have this movie on my short list of S tier stuff, so I'll put it in S tier.
And his tumble down the Empire State Building when he shot.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, for me, like I'm not a big like King Kong guy. I'm just not. I do like Kong Skull Island. I think that movie's really cool, but it's not even for like King Kong that much. Just for all the like giant insects and other creatures and things. But I'm just not like I've only seen the movie once, and I just didn't care for it. It's not really one I go back. I was just kind of like thought it was cheesy. Sorry, so I got to give it like a C. I say C for King Kong, the original. Yeah.
If you were talking about the 76 one, I'd be fine with that. But
yeah.
Jacob Barber.
Haven't seen it.
Okay. All right. So still has 3 S's for now, but it's probably going to be the first on the chopping block, right where it is right there. We'll see where it ends up overall. But we will scoot up to JPO. Where are you going to go next?
Hey, Mr. B Rabbit, if I send you this, will you sign it?
Yeah.
You got to write the address on it. Perfect.
Yeah. Put the address on it. Perfect.
When I write them,
Might be
that,
6 months or
that
something
right
like
there,
that.
on the cover is what Jacob Barber dressed up as. That right there, Eminem.
oh shit, I forgot. How am I
Eminem
supposed to
from
send
8
that
Mile.
shit out?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go, man, to one of my favorites of all time. I'm gonna get it out there. Let's go to Scream, baby. You see it right there in the top left, even on our wallpaper here. This is my kind of like OG introduction into horror, and it still holds up, man. This is an easy, great rewatch. Intro scene of killing, kind of an A-list actress. That you think
Spoilers.
more of it. Sorry, I know. And the whole cast is great here, man. Some great lines. It's also funny. And yeah, it starts off a franchise that I still think overall is maybe the best horror franchise. So yeah, Scream '96.
Yeah. Wolfman, what do you say?
Definitely my favorite horror franchise, and this is relationship goals. Whenever in March you go see Scream 6, your girlfriend has no idea what's going on, but she's just so happy because she's seeing me giddy and like geeking out and all that stuff. And then I go see Five Nights at Freddy's. She knows everything about the game. I have no idea what I'm watching, and then I'm just happy that she's happy, and I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah. So it's just one of those kind of things. One of those kind of things. But yeah,
maybe I'm a bad boyfriend because at first I'd be like, bitch, you haven't seen Scream? I ain't fucking watching Freddy's, so I'm just a bad person.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't think it made this list.
No, hold on.
Okay.
No, wait. It'll be
A few years.
This list came out before.
Yeah. Give it a
Next
few
year.
more years. Okay, maybe Rolling Stone will be around it.
Yeah.
No, but hey, but both have the same actor in it. Scream and Five Nights at Freddy. Yeah, can't even speak. Matthew Lillard. And Scream is fantastic. It's the film that got me into horror. Like, this is the film that made me fall in love with the genre as a whole, because not only did it scare me, but also it was hilarious. It's just the meta commentary behind it. I adore this movie, and it is going to forever be... It's not the best horror movie of all time, in my opinion, because that goes to the thing, but it'll always be my favorite horror movie because of the emotional impact it made on me when I was younger. And also, Neve Campbell was one of my celebrity crushes growing up as a kid, and I do not have to tell y'all what I would do as a kid in my early days. So yeah, I was sparing all the details.
I'm eating here, please.
Were you at Josh Hartnett's trunk in the faculty?
Maybe I was. Maybe that was me.
Man, you should have came to the convention I went to where I met Neve Campbell.
Dude, I would have not. I would have gotten kicked out of that convention. I don't think I could.
No! Oh, yeah. No!
That's Neve Campbell's handler when you come up to the table. Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
But Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, so I'm gonna put this in A tier, and I have a reason. Because again, on my short list of stuff that I made, Scream has never been one of my favorite horror franchises. I think it's a good horror franchise overall. I think it's if I'm on rank them on next Sunday, talking about influential horror movies, I think I will put it on that list. Again, according to the topic, you go 90s horror. I probably put it in S tier. Just not one of my personal favorites that I go back to over and over and over again. I think it's a very good movie. But yeah, again, I just have, it's more of a favorites, personal preference thing tonight. So I got to go A tier for Scream.
Yeah, I'm just telling you guys that this mustache might be coming off soon. It's not holding on very well, and it's kind of bugging me. But we'll see how long I can last. But well, Scream is my favorite horror franchise, and JPO, you're speaking my language because this is my number one on this whole list. Scream is where it's at, baby. I love me some Scream. So that was kind of like a bucket list moment to meet Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard and Jamie Kennedy and all those guys. I just wish we could have had some of the other cast there, but that was a pretty like big group as far as like a handful of the cast. But and yeah, I think we kind of talked to death about it, but it's one of the best slashers, the best like just meta horror movies that just really smartly written. I think that it's one of Wes Craven's probably best written movies. This and Scream 2. I think Scream 2 kind of is like.
Well, he didn't write the screenplay, but yes, I agree.
Yeah, well,
I'll just shout out to good old Kevin Williamson. Yeah, wrote several screenplays.
Yeah,
that's your faculty guy as well. Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that makes sense. So because I love the faculty too. So I'll say S tier for Scream.
And then he also did Sick this year, which is actually
not bad. Worth watching.
Yeah.
When did they make a
fact for me? I still
too?
gotta see it. So maybe
It's
tomorrow.
on the cock, baby. It's on the cock.
Yeah. Jacob Barber, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, if this was Scream 2, it'd be an easy S tier for me. I love Scream 2, but this one's still an S. I love Scream as well. I just wanted to see JPO sweat a little bit.
I didn't know it was that close. I know you're.
It is. They're fairly close, but I prefer 2 just a little bit more. But yeah, I think we don't get 2 without this one, and this one is also really well made. Yeah, like everything that's been said about it already, as far as the S tier, I'm just going to agree with, and I'm going to give it an S tier vote as well.
Hey, Mr. Cameron.
I am going to go A tier. I do not fall over myself in love with the movie, but I have a lot of respect for it. Like Wes Craven pretty much tried to kill the genre that he created and instead revived it again. So, yeah, I don't necessarily fall over myself in love with it, but I have nothing but respect for it. It is well made. There's a formula to it, a very simple formula. So it's very well made, very well done.
All right, sounds good. All right, Wolfman, what you got?
All right. I have to pick this one. I know it might come across as obscure, but I think some of y'all, at least on this panel, in fact, I know one of y'all have seen it. And I'm going to go with a masterpiece, one of my all-time favorite movies, Let the Right One In. This is the book to Let the Right One In, which is just as good, if not better. I'm going to put this in the S tier, baby, because this movie is the greatest vampire flick ever made. It's emotional. It's a beautiful coming-of-age story as well. It is a beautiful kind of almost love story. This film just has atmosphere to it. It's chilling. It's emotional. It's just the ending is amazing. This film is just everything about this film I absolutely adore, and I will watch it all the time. The remake is subpar, and the TV show sucks. So avoid that stuff. I will say Let the Right One In, though. The original is incredible. So, yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin, what do you say?
I've seen it exactly one time, about 13 years ago, when I rented it from Netflix DVD. Rest in peace, Netflix DVD.
I will.
And I remember being very good, but I've only seen it the one time. So one time, very good equals B tier.
Okay.
And an
I
all-time
only
list.
watched Godzilla one time, but
Yeah.
Just
Well, I'm only seen it a couple of times, but this movie's awesome. I freaking love Let the Right One In. And yeah, the original one is the best one. That's the one everyone should watch. You can watch the remake. The remake's good, but just not quite as good as this one, I don't think. But yeah, like I would agree. Like it's probably the best vampire movie like ever made. There's some like really cool scenes, just like when you first see it, like for people who don't know anything about it, you don't know what this creature is. You don't know what's going on, and you're just trying to figure it out. And so yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I'll give it an S tier. I have it ranked 11th overall on this list, so that's enough for S tier for me. Jacob Barber.
Haven't seen it.
Oh,
Okay.
Paul.
Jacob Cameron.
Time to open up a big old can of haven't seen it.
Oh,
Wow, the fucking
JPO?
the Jacobs are really letting me down tonight. I haven't seen it.
I know. Sad.
All right. Well, that's your shot, though. It did get 3 votes. So,
Wait a minute. What about JPO? Did you see it?
I haven't seen it. No, I was
He just said he hadn't seen it.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. I only heard that.
No, that's why I was actually being mean.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been
I
talking
thought
shit.
you did see it because you reacted whenever I was like saying the TV show sucked. You were like, eh.
I thought that was funny because I forgot there even was a TV show.
Oh, okay.
All right, there it is. All right, so my turn. Got to go with what currently.
Coming off.
Got to go with what currently is my favorite horror movie of all time from a great year in 1978. I bounce between this and another movie for being my favorite, just kind of on any given day. But as of right now, the 1978 Invasion of the Body Snatchers is my favorite horror movie. I've watched this one dozens of times since I first saw it. I think it's a masterclass in paranoia. It's the best version of this Body Snatchers story that we've ever gotten. It's immaculately directed, phenomenal lead performance from Donald Sutherland, great supporting cast with again Jeff Goldblum, Leonard Nimoy, some great little bit players throughout the movie, but genuinely scary, and it gets under your skin, literally and figuratively, about not being able to trust anybody, which is I think one of the scariest concepts you can have is of being alone in this world and only knowing who you are. I think it's just an absolute masterclass in horror, and I continue to champion it in this community. So I'll say S tier for Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Jordan?
Yeah, so for whatever reason, I forgot to rank the Body Snatchers on my list, so I just did it real quick while you were talking. And this movie lands at number 11 for me. So bumps Let the Light One into 12, but it's still S tier for both of them, though, because Invasion of the Body Snatchers is amazing. I've only seen it twice, but so I want to see both this and Let the Right One In again. But yeah, Body Snatchers, it is just a really like fun ride because you just the whole time you're just trying to figure out who's real and who's not, and just so chilling that the aliens who would have thought that like when we think of aliens we think of like green men or someone with an actual big body, but who would have thought these little tiny microscopic creatures could be also aliens and take over our bodies and yeah, there's a really scary moment at the end that's pretty iconic. So yeah, and Donald Sutherland's great. So let's go S tier for Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
All right, Mr. Barber.
Yeah.
This is another one that I've seen the one time, and I think it's really, really good. So it's that high A tier for me again because, like I've said, I want to stay consistent with that. Like the S tier I'm reserving for those all timers for me personally that I've seen multiple times, and I go back and I revisit. And who knows? In a couple of years, maybe I'll put Body Snatchers in that S tier, but for right now, I'm going to agree with everything that's been said about the movie. I agree, but just personally, I've only seen it the one time, and it's not quite an S tier for me, but I can see it getting there pretty easily.
Yeah. Well, Jacob Cameron, what do you say?
So, scene clips, I have a lot of respect for what I've seen, but I have not seen it all the way through, so I respectfully abstain again.
Oh, Cameron, you got to get on that, man. It's great.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
No, I've seen the original from the 50s, and that one is very good.
This one's even
We're
better.
doing Cameron some homework tonight. So.
Yeah,
No,
right.
no, I know the watch list is building. I know.
Yeah. But JPO,
He's frozen.
Oh.
The noise where it's like, oh, damn it, god damn it. Come on, people.
Yeah.
I need the panel we had the other night for that show where it made it into like the final four.
Yeah.
That's what I need. Damn.
Well, Wolfman, you've seen it, right?
I have seen it, and I've seen it once, and it was a while back. But I have seen it, and Donald Sutherland is great in this. Spock himself, Leonard Nimoy, Jeff Goldblum is also in this one.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah, so this is a really, really good movie, and one that I will give a very, very high A to. So there you go.
Damn, god damn it. I need Chad and Eric behind me when I made Final Four for our PG-13 horror the other night.
Yeah, right.
Son of a bitch. All right. Come on, guys, get on that. Anyways, Jordan.
Let's see. All right, let's advocate for one of my personal favorite horror movies of all time. I'm always really high because it's one that I grew up with. They're here. Let's go with Poltergeist for S tier. Yeah. Directed by Toby Hooper, and this was great. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but and yeah, like I think that it's a really creepy story. Like whenever I see static on the TV, like whenever I used to, you don't really see that really anymore, but when I used to, it always freaked me out because it's like anything's possible. And yeah, I like the Zelda Rubinstein character when she comes in is like telling them what's going on in the house and portals, and then you have like a whole second half that like it's all about like the graveyard and like undead bodies and like just some really crazy creepy stuff, and yeah, and all of its practical effects. It's just really, really cool. So yeah, I'll say S tier for Poltergeist. Jacob Barber.
Well, I'm just gonna keep this train going of movies that I've recently watched for the first time and have been really, really good because Poltergeist was really, really good. Yeah, some of the practical effects that you talked about, like there's that part where like his face started melting or whatever.
Yeah,
that was
right.
kind of
shocker.
I legit looked away. I was like, oh, that I was not ready for that. Excuse me. Yeah, again, good performances all around. Yeah, really good. Like, what is this PG horror movies? I mean, like probably one of the best. Like, if we were doing PG horror movies, like I'm going S tier because I think.
You mean like we did on Friday and it made it very, very far?
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
And a great score too. The score's really good.
But again, I've only seen it the one time, and just to stay consistent, I'm going A again, but it's like probably a high A.
Yeah, and also there's no need to see the remake because like it literally, speaking of like practical effects, it looked like they're literally using skeletons from like Spirit Halloween that are made of plastic, and it's just really cheesy.
Even though it does have my boy Sam Rockwell in it. Right?
Yeah, Sam Rockwell's good, but I mean the movie's just bad.
Sam Rockwell is good, but he can't work miracles.
40 years ago, when you could use real cadavers. Oh, the glory days.
Yeah, yep,
Yes.
the glory days. Yeah, but Jacob Cameron, what do you say about Poltergeist?
S tier all the way. The movie legitimately freaked me out when I first saw it in high school for a film appreciation class. I've never really been one to be afraid of clowns, but having like after I saw the movie, I'm like, I understand where the fear comes from, because the clown in the room, oh boy, it still gives me the willies. And then you got that weird looking tree that just goes into business for itself in more ways than one, and just there's so much to love about this movie. Shout out to Craig T. Nelson. He's awesome in the movie as well.
They built it on an Indian burial ground. But JPO, what do you say?
Yeah, I think that's why they focus on the clown so much in the remake, because they know how it worked well in the first one. And I think it's probably my favorite thing T. Nelson's ever done. Actually, I can't really think of anything else that compares other than comedies for me.
The show Coach. You didn't like Coach?
But again, it's just fine. Sitcom. I'm maybe not as high, but I'm in kind of like, because I kind of like Barber at one time. Viewing it was a little while ago, so I'm gonna say A.
Yeah, sounds good. Wolfman, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm also going to say A because this film is really, really good. The Cursed Films episode, too, by the way, on Poltergeist is really, like, kind of creepy if you, like, think about it when you listen to, like, what happened and everything. Yeah, it's really, really good. And here's my question. Do y'all think it's a Steven Spielberg movie, or do y'all think it's a Tobe Hooper movie? Because I have a friend who told me
Tobe Hooper.
I have a friend who told me it's the greatest Steven Spielberg story directed by Tobe Hooper. Like, it seems like...
Well, he had a hand in the story and the scripting, but it's a Tobe Hooper movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure you all know the story, but E.T. and this movie were filmed literally within neighborhoods of each other.
Yeah, so he bounced over to the set of Poltergeist a lot, but it's just because he was producing it. He was checking in on it and saying, and he was friends with everybody on the set. It was a lot of his production people that worked on this movie. So, yeah. But it's a Tobe Hooper movie. Everybody said that, from Mick Garris to the
were all over it.
to the the cast that has said that. Yeah, no, Spielberg just popped in every now and then just to say hi and check in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I heard he had a huge involvement in the movie. So
in the pre-production, yes, because he's was involved in it. Yeah, and bringing it to the big screen, sure. But yeah, I mean, he didn't direct it.
But Austin, what do you say?
No, this one's going to be an A tier again for me. Yeah, it's very, very good.
Come on.
Well, I mean, it's not one of my personal favorites. You know that from the other night, Jordan. It's no surprise to you. Again, it's if I made a list of top 100, maybe it would be in there, but it's not my top 32, not my top 50.
A list of top 100. So
I've seen all these movies are top 100. So should we move? I don't know, Captain Dr. Caligari in there? Should we move Black Cat in there? Should we move all these in the S tier? That's
all good.
Reason why we're doing the panel. So yeah, it's just, again, not one of my personal favorites that I go to over and over again, but I watched it again recently on 4K. It's very, very good. And I still will watch it every now and then, but it's again not one of my personal favorites, so I'll give it an A. So that's where it goes. Right there. And we're back down to Jacob Barber.
Let's go. You can stop right there. Bride of Frankenstein.
Hey, all right.
I love this movie. I think of the classic monsters, I think this is my favorite. Just kind of building off Frankenstein. Boris Karloff actually speaking and like having like a character. I think it's really, really good. Great follow up to Frankenstein, and it's another one that it's kind of one of those movies where I think it's mistitled because the Bride of Frankenstein doesn't actually come in until like the last 2 minutes, but it is what it is. It doesn't take away from the quality of the movie, in my opinion. I think it's really well made, but yeah, like I said, my favorite of the classics. So I'm going S tier for Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, Jacob Cameron, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm going to go S tier as well. And yeah, the Bride is not in the movie very much, but there's so many other good things to praise about it as well. You got Dr. Pretorius, played by Ernest Thesiger. He absolutely crushed it. Colin Clive is good as Dr. Frankenstein, and just Boris Karloff, of course, was just born to play that role. And the makeup job on him, still great from Jack Pierce. The Bride has an iconic look, played by Elsa Lancaster. She's great. The Friar stuff, I could go on and on, but S tier, one of the best sequels ever made.
Yeah. JPO, what do you say?
Man, remember that scene putting on the Ritz? I don't because I haven't seen it. So,
Sad.
She give it a shot. It won't take up much of your time at 75 minutes.
Yeah, 75 minutes. That's what I was gonna say.
You could put it on now, and by the time we get to the hill,
You might be able to finish it. By the time
I'll let you know. I'll put my Xbox on.
Yeah, but Wolfman, what do you say?
Is Alan Costello Meet Frankenstein on the list?
No, it's not.
No.
Then screw the Rolling Stone. Just saying that's the best one. All right.
Because it's not a straight horror movie, so that's why it's not on. It's a horror comedy. Yeah.
All right. Bride of Frankenstein though is. I feel we have to have at least a Universal monster movie on here, and most of them are S tier anyways. So I will give this one S tier because Bride of Frankenstein's awesome. This movie is I haven't seen it in a while, but I need to see it again. This movie is really good, and I agree. It makes Frankenstein have character, which is like really really nice. So
yeah. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, the first time I got to see it, luckily, it was actually on the big screen. I've talked about Fathom Events did a thing about 10 years ago. I got to see it where it was all in one night, Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein back to back, even with an intermission and an intro. The whole night was 2.5 hours. It was pretty great. Just two movies, an intermission. So, you get a lot of bang for your buck there because both movies are about 70 minutes and change. And they're great. And this one even has sort of a humor about itself, about the actual concept. James Whale got a lot of creative control on this one and was able to, give it a little more character, a little more oomph. Because the original Frankenstein is very, very good. I like that movie as well. This one, it's definitely up there as far as one of the best sequels ever made. So, if we're going to have a classic Universal movie, I'm willing to put this one in S tier, sure.
Yeah, so this one is my favorite of all the Universal monster movies. I think that it's really really good. Yeah, like it just gives Frankenstein a lot of character, or a Frankenstein's monster, I guess you could call it. But then bringing in the bride to introduce a new character and a really cool character. But like I'm just not like I mean. If I'm gonna go for horror movies, I'm gonna skew a little modern for me. Like I don't go as classic, but I still really like this one because, like I said, it's my top of the Universal monster. So I'll still give it an A. I'll say A.
Okay, so it's gonna go right around here for now. All right, and we'll scoot on up to Jacob Cameron.
Right.
All right. So. All right. Go back up. Something caught my eye.
Okay.
You know what? Let's go Evil Dead 2. That's an easy S tier right there. Keeping with the sequel theme. I mean, do I even really need to say anything? I mean, it's one of those movies that's just a slam dunk in terms of horror. Like the Evil Dead series, in my opinion, has no entries that miss. You don't go wrong with any of them. The Evil Dead, great. This movie, just awesome. Army of Darkness, awesome. The remake is somehow just as good as all of them, and Evil Dead Rise was just as good as all of them. So there's not a single bad one. But Evil Dead 2 is the best by a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. JPO, what do you say about Evil Dead 2?
Well, I'm not as high on Evil Dead 2 as some, obviously. I like it. I have fun, but it's not really no more than that. Not next level for me. I don't know. I just think it's like some fun vignettes, but I also think it kind of is a piece of its time period. So it's a B for me, especially in this kind of category.
Okay.
Yeah. Wolfman, what do you say?
So, I gotta say that I rewatched them all not too long ago, and I will say that Evil Dead 2 is really fun and really campy. However, on my rewatch, that one girl, her scream was annoying as fuck. Like I wanted her to die so much. Like I was just like, you are so annoying. Oh my goodness. Like Bruce Campbell though made that movie and was like really, really he was really fun, really funny in it. He had the charisma and everything. You know, if Deadpool was made back during that time, I feel like he would have made a good Deadpool. I just want to throw that out there randomly. I think it's just like
I think
I
so.
feel like he
Like
would have
Bruce Campbell.
done good. But yeah, he Bruce Campbell is awesome. Everyone loves him. So and I love most of the franchise. And the TV show too is really funny too. I think that show's really fun. So you know, just because I rewatched it and this used to be S tier for me, but I'd probably go like very high A tier for this one because I actually prefer the original now. The original is like S tier for me, but then this one is more so like very high A tier. You know?
Yeah. Cool. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, this one's on my short list of S tier. I think it's a super fun horror movie. Yeah, that I think is just very breezy to watch. Very silly, but has some scary moments when it needs to be. Lots of blood, buckets and buckets. Some really good camera work though. It's actually very well shot when you actually watch kind of the technical aspects. The way those chase scenes when the camera's chasing them in around the crevices of the house and through all the doors and everything. It's very innovative in the style that it has. It just a supreme performance. Basically a one-man show from Bruce Campbell and a great physical performance. And I think he carries this movie to an S tier. So I'll say S.
Yeah. So I didn't mention what I had the last one, the Bride of Frankenstein. That was ranked 30th overall is what I had it. But for this one, I'm not like super high on the first two Evil Dead movies. I love Army of Darkness, but the first two I'm kind of like, especially the second one just like gets way too slapsticky. Three Stooges, just I don't know.
That's literally all of Army of Darkness, but that's fine.
Yeah, they do it like they make it like a point that the whole movie's gonna be like that.
Yeah, I
like
the third one embraces that more.
Yeah, like embraces it, but the second one, like it starts kind of like horror, and then it devolves into that or evolves, whatever you want to say. But and like I don't really like a lot of the camera shots too. There's some weird shooting around camera shots and stuff that for me just don't really work too well. So I have it ranked 34 on my list overall. So that's a B for me. So say B.
Jacob.
Yeah,
I'll go right. I'll go right in the middle of that and go at an A. I think there's a lot to like here, but it's just it's not one that's an all timer for me personally. Like I get the love for it, I absolutely do. I think some of the things that you mentioned, Pez, I absolutely agree with. Yeah, the camera work, but I'm kind of in an A tier.
Okay. Well, 222. So that's where about it ends up right now. And we'll go to JPO.
Alrighty, no timer for me in both. Just movies in general, especially in horror. Let's go with The Thing, baby. I'm gonna nominate that for S tier. I kind of love everything about it here, man. Our good Keith David, okay. Keith David's in this, along with Kurt Russell. They're kind of a great final two. Spoilers. But we've got a whole little fun cast here. So it's a great secluded movie. The practical effects are on point here. Many movies have kind of done it. There's an X-Files episode about it. There's, of course, the prequel sequel that we get recently with Winstead. And this just I think it's just great filmmaking, and everything about it kind of works for me. So S tier.
Yeah, sounds good. Wolfman, what do you say about The Thing?
God damn it, Austin, you're right. Okay.
I told you, bro. It's too damn sweaty.
It's and I can barely
hot
breathe.
here for a penguin.
Barely breathe in that thing.
Oh man, I smell something now.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like
Smells bad, Vern. No, me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. What I mean?
oh, okay. Well, now I'm the real Corey. All right. So, The Thing, as y'all know, it is to me, the greatest horror movie of all time. Just from the music, the dun dun, like just the little beats that Ennio Morricone does. It's terrifying. The performances all here, the characters, and then the designs. This has the best visuals for any movie I think I've seen in my life. Like, it still is insane how much this holds up. Like, it is terrifying. It is creepy. I love the concept and the ending. One of the greatest endings to a horror movie I've ever seen. This film is awesome. And the remake, or prequel or whatever, I need to see that one again because it's been forever. But this one, though, is the definitive Thing film, and it's John Carpenter's masterpiece. So S tier.
Yeah. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, no, I talked about earlier how I bounce between Invasion and The Thing as my two, like, number one and number two on any given day. But on any given day, The Thing could be number one because I saw it again for about the third time in the theater about 2 years ago. And I was like, man, is that the greatest horror movie ever made? Yeah, probably. Maybe objectively, yeah. It still works. Yeah, because I'm a sucker for great practical effects. This has it. Great earned jump scares, not just jump scares for the sake of jump scares, actually earned ones that work. Yeah, great character stuff. And again, it's my favorite kind of sub genre of horror, which is paranoia horror. Because not trusting the person next to you is to me even scarier than a monster you can see in front of you. And yeah, so man, yeah, I've made an argument many a times that on Battleground and whatnot, that this is the greatest horror movie ever made. So I'll go S tier for The Thing.
Yeah, one of these days I'll just buckle down and just like go strictly vote objectively, because I always vote pretty personal for me, like versus which one give me like the most entertainment value, and then which ones like for horror like really scare me, and which ones really like hold up. And The Thing is an incredible movie. Like, it's still going to be S tier. I'll just say that, but I have it ranked about 10th overall. Just have a few that I kind of go back to more. I don't find myself like rewatching The Thing as much as I think that I would. I've seen it 6 or 7 times, but it's really, really good. I think that it's great, and like how involved John Carpenter is in like all of his movies with like being part of the score and the writing. Like, I know he didn't do that here, but like I still feel like he's probably like somewhat involved with all that. So yeah, I will say S tier for The Thing.
Jacob?
Yeah. Jacob Barber.
Barber first.
Don't hate me, guys. A.
Ooh.
Really?
Then he ran
I
out.
have to say, I have to stay consistent. I've only seen it the one time. I think it's really, really good. But it's just for me personally, and I've been doing that all night. I got to stay consistent. I put it at like the top of A because I think it's really well made performances, like the paranoia horror. Yeah, it's all. But for me, like it's a one-time watch, and I can't put it in that S tier after just a first time watch. So
you can put him in the bottom of S.
Yeah.
Put it at the top of A.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah. Basically.
It's got 5 others. It's just staying in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now we don't get to do the vote later of Carpenter versus Carpenter, Jacob.
Yeah.
If you give it a clean sweep, we have to make that vote later, and I want to see what happens.
We can do Carpenter versus Spielberg.
Yeah. But Jacob, Cameron, what do you say?
I'm sticking with my fellow Jacob and going A.
Oh.
What?
Wow.
What the fuck is happening here?
Wow. A couple more.
Wow, the Jacobs are disappointing tonight. That's just I just gotta throw it out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
How dare we have opinions?
It's really good. Watch it another time.
And then after that, I'll probably put it in the S tier. But like I said, I've got to stay consistent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I had The Thing pegged to win this whole goddamn thing, honestly, or to be right at least neck and neck with Halloween.
Well, depends on the panel. So
I did think it'd be like top 3 at least. I didn't.
Based on the votes, it's barely top 5 right now, which is insane to me. So we'll see where it ends up. All right, so Wolfman, what do you got?
Yeah.
So earlier, Jordan said something about voting objectively. So this may not be as high up for you guys. I don't know how many of you all have seen this, but literally every single movie that is on this list would not have ever existed if not for the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. This movie was like essentially sort of like the first horror movie in a way. It was like the first, at least feature length horror movie. I think it came out before Nosferatu. But
Yep.
because this film is brilliant. It's atmospheric. It's really creepy. I've been getting into a lot of silent films lately, and so this was one of the ones I watched, and yeah, I'm so glad I saw this because this film is really good, and just for the iconic nature of it alone, I feel it deserves S tier because it's a great film and engaging and short, so it's very easy to watch if you guys haven't seen it. But then, just for the iconic status alone, it deserves S tier because none of these movies, we have King Kong here and Godzilla here for a reason. They're iconic. We need to have the first horror movie, Dr. Caligari, on here because none of these would have existed without it. So, there we go.
Well, Austin, what do you say?
I'll probably agree with you, Wolfman, once I get around to seeing it.
Yeah. I also haven't seen it. I just so the only thing that I know about it is it's from Portlandia, where like Fred Armisen's character is the mailman, and he keeps bringing the girl Carrie Brownstein, the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and she's like, "What the frick is it? I didn't even order this," because it's like part of her like mail-in DVD thing. And then he's like, "You really need to watch it." Then she watches it, and it like horrifies her. So, but I haven't seen it though.
And hey, and according to Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, it's Nick Cage's favorite movie of all time because that movie was like that was his
Paddington 2.
Paddington 2 is better.
Yep, but Jacob Barber, what do you say?
Well, I can't say Paddington 2 is better because I haven't seen this one. So,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I need to get on this.
Jacob Cameron, have you seen it?
I'm agreeing with Wolfman. It's an S. It is an all-timer. It basically walked so other movies could run. It was ahead of its time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. JPO, have you seen it?
Well, I got good news and bad news. Has JPO seen it? Of course. He sees everything. But he's not voting this round. El Guapo is, and El Guapo has not seen it. Sorry.
Oh.
No,
Like
can we
me,
get
dude.
What to do?
can we get JPO back to vote, please?
No, he's busy. But he totally saw it. Like, don't
Busy
play.
doing what?
Yeah.
Not watching
Yeah.
this movie.
Well,
But-
haven't seen.
Well, we got 2 votes.
All right.
guys, y'all need
So-
to get. I believe
Well, they said JPO saw
I believe
it, so I
it's
thought maybe
free.
he'd come back and give it a vote.
I didn't hear what JPO gave it, so
man.
It was a
I didn't hear
joke.
it.
JPO also hasn't seen it. He was trying not to
Okay.
get yelled at.
Yeah. Well, I'll give another pick, Wolf.
Oh man, okay. Y'all are killing me here. Okay, so we just lost out on that
Well,
iconic movie.
pick better movies.
Well, y'all can, if y'all haven't seen it, you're like, yeah, for the objectiveness, I'll give it S tier. Just for this because it
You're allowed to
deserves.
do
Like,
that. Is that part of the rules?
good. You're like, my favorite horror movie on this list wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for Dr. Caligari. So yeah, I'll say S tier. Like
Nope,
that's
you can only do that
how
in
we are.
tournament fights. You can't do it here.
Oh, dang.
No, I'm just kidding. You can if you want.
Yeah. I guess the next one I'll pick is S for Silence of the Lambs. There we go. Because this one is awesome. I think this film is, some people say it's not a horror movie. I do consider it a horror movie, absolutely, because Anthony Hopkins is terrifying. This is the only horror movie I think to win all the major categories at the Academy Awards, and for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jodie Foster is incredible. Just the night vision scene, still to this day makes me just like clench my chair when I watch it. It is intense. This is such an amazing movie. I go back and rewatch this every year. This is an absolute masterpiece, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So I will say Silence of the Lambs. Absolutely.
Yeah. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, 100% S tier for Silence of the Lambs. Probably one of the objectively the best movies on this list. Yeah, it gets better. Ages like fine wine every time I watch it. I do a killer Buffalo Bill impression. Would you? JP El Guapo, you about a size 14? No. An amazing performance all around. Great story about Clarice. Yeah, this upstart. There's a lot of great sort of allegories for what she's dealing with, and coming up through the FBI, and what's to say about Anthony Hopkins' Hannibal Lecter that hasn't already been said? 17 minutes of a performance that earned him a spot in acting Hall of Fame, basically. So incredible stuff. I'll give it an S tier.
Yeah. Well, Wolfman, was voting objectively, then maybe I could rank it higher, but I'm just not a huge Silence of the Lambs fan. I'm just not. It just kind of, I don't know. There's really good performances and things in it, but it just bores me overall. It's just so slow. I don't know. Just so
how's the mystery?
Well deserved.
Yeah, I'm just not that high on. I'm not even a big Anthony Hopkins fan overall. So
the father of this decade.
I recognize the talent, I do, but for me overall, I have it ranked 37th overall. That's enough for a C for me.
Oh my God! Yeah, a movie that won the Big Five. One of the few movies that won the Big Five of the Oscars.
It's someone else's opinion.
We don't need a sound clip.
I got my own opinions.
Can we all be the sound clip real quick?
Have more exciting elements to it, and I'll like the movie.
Don't character develop at all.
I know there's not enough.
You can't handle it because Jodie Foster. We know. What you can't handle is the fact that Clarice in the movie was sitting down with Hannibal Lecter in a room talking to him.
Yeah, right. It's
people in rooms talking, and Jordan doesn't like that.
The only thing that gets exciting is when he escapes his jail cell. Everything else is boring as shit in that movie to me. I don't know. Sorry, but Jacob Barber.
God.
I thought I was going to get the booze here because it's another one that's a high A for me. Because I'm staying consistent. I've only seen it the one time. Again, really, really good performances. Yeah, I'll agree with that. It won the Big Five for a reason, but again, not one that I've revisited since the first time I've watched it. But I can appreciate it, much like The Thing and the other ones that I've only seen the one time. But yeah, high A. It'd be like at the top of the A, right behind The Thing.
Okay. Right behind The Thing, but The Thing's right in an S.
No,
for you,
for me personally, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But Jacob Cameron, what do you say?
S tier, no debate.
Apparently, with some people on this list.
Well, if it's a slow-moving movie, then expect I'm probably not going to like.
Yeah, because the fast-paced nature of Midamar, really cranks it up there.
And also Alien is such a fast-moving movie, and so is the original Halloween, and
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
but JPO.
Good news, bad news. El Guapo has not seen it, but JPO has. No, I believe it. I'm definitely an S tier follower here as well. Again, just as I said, whenever you have good performances like this, and not even good, I'm sorry, great. You have to say the word great. I'm all about it here. I think it's a great script. There's a reason it was nominated N1 though. So yeah, absolutely. S.
All right, I got to see where it ends up here. It's kind of after Bride. Right there. for now. All right, so that's where we are. Okay, JPO's next, right? Or
No,
wait, who?
people
No, I'm sorry. I'm up next. I'm way off. Okay, cool. Let me look at my list and see what I got. You know what? Wolfman, I'll also go after the S's with another S movie. Let's go The Shining for S tier. S for Shining. I'm a big Stanley Kubrick guy. I had to slowly realize over the last year or two that he's one of my top 5 favorite directors because I don't dislike any of his movies. Really, like even Barry Lyndon to a degree is still watchable. It's just my least favorite. But I've turned the corner on Dr. Strangelove, which I didn't used to be, and then all of his movies from there are pretty killer, pretty great. And The Shining is right at the top of the heap. Masterful direction, a movie that they've literally made documentaries about, trying to interpret what the hell is going on in certain sequences, what they all mean, the layout of the actual Overlook Hotel. Jack Nicholson giving one of the all-time great horror performances here. Shelley Duvall is great. She is not a Razzie level performance. She is fantastic as the victim there. Great child acting performance. Everything about this movie works. The score is creepy. I think a super iconic just movie that deserves to be an S tier. So I'll go with Shining.
Yeah. So I like The Shining. I think that it's good. I think that it has some solid performances, and especially like the stuff with like the little boy Danny just riding around exploring and like seeing crazy things all over the hotel that they're at. And I think that it's good. I've only seen it just a couple of times, but I mean, just overall for what I have it ranked 25th. So that's enough still for an A. I can give it an A, so I'll say that for The Shining. Jacob.
I'm back on the S train. Yeah, I'm gonna go S tier for The Shining.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute. But I'm back on. Probably since I nominated. But this is an excellent movie. Jack Nicholson giving one of the all-time performances. I think he's absolutely incredible, and just the whole tone of the movie. Like I don't know if I could stay in a hotel by myself for, an entire winter and not go crazy. So I get it. But
is it axe wielding murderer? Get it? Yeah.
Maybe not. Like I don't know if I go that far. I was like, I might snap.
Well, they had to do it without streaming movies and the internet. You know what I mean? Like much less.
Yeah.
Just once.
Nowadays, there at least be Wi-Fi.
For you, it's all work and no play makes Jacob a little grumpy.
A little salty.
Yeah.
A little moody.
Yeah. A little irritable.
Yeah, right.
But S tier.
I think what I would do to change it up every night, I would sleep in each hotel room every night just to change it up the scenery. Like, I'd just go from room to room to room to at least change your environment every night.
I would just stay in the room with the bear. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that's a weird one.
I would just go door to door and just bash in every door. Here's Johnny, like every night, a different door.
I think the property damage would come back to haunt you on that one.
Yeah.
I couldn't find scissors, but this machete's working pretty well to open this Amazon box.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Careful.
Nice. But Jacob Cameron, what do you say?
I mean, S tier. I mean, it's one of the best ever. I watch it every year on Halloween Day, so I will be watching it tomorrow.
Ooh, on 4K?
No, still got the Blu-ray, but it still
4K is great.
Still looks excellent.
Yes. JPO. JPO.
Or El Guapo or whatever your name was.
I thought you said Jacob. My bad. Get my whiteboard out. Trivia, bitches. Shining. God damn. Hell yeah, S tier. I mean, this thing, I think, again, totally works here. I love the build up here. Nicholson, everything everyone already said before. Yeah, this is a good one. I'm down for S tier.
Wolfman, what do you say?
I still remember the South Park episode where it's like Randy gets a Blockbuster and they're like parodying The Shining, and he's like has it over all winter, and so he's chasing Stan. He's like Stan. It's like a whole parody of The Shining, and it's like it's incredible. I love that episode so much.
Good stuff.
And then like Psych has an episode that's dedicated to The Shining too. If y'all have seen that show, like there's The Shining has been so it's such a
Simpsons. I was gonna say is where I go.
yeah, The Simpsons. It's such an iconic movie that just things have parodied it. It's that iconic, and so just for its iconic status alone, it deserves here. It deserves the 2 or 3 time, I forget how many, Razzie nominated film deserves to be in the 5-time winning Oscar film Silence of the Lambs in this category right here. So absolutely S tier.
Why did it get Razzies? Like, that's weird.
The only one it got nominated for was Shelley Duvall's performance. Got nominated for a Razzie for best, and then they took it back years later because they realized the abuse she took from Stanley Kubrick on set and felt bad, and they officially rescinded it.
It's almost like that time that they nominated that kid from Firestarter, and like they got in trouble for that because it was like they were like, she's a little kid, you know. It's like
Oh yeah. Well, Shelley Duvall looks surprisingly like one of my aunts. Whenever I see her, I always think of Shelley Duvall from The Shining. She looks just like her.
Well, you can find out more about that Razzie nomination on a podcast about movies, which me and Jacob Barber did, and we did an episode called "The Razzies Got It Wrong."
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah, so you can find out more about that because we talked about that. And then we also did one after that called "The Oscars Got It Wrong" about Oscar snubs. So you can find that in the archives of Movie Hero Network. All right, Jordan.
Well, I'm just gonna shoot my shot for one, and maybe one that like maybe not many people might agree on, but I think I don't know. But it's one I really love because it's one that I feel like could actually happen to you. It just feels so raw and like realistic. So I'm gonna go with The Strangers. So I'm a big fan of this movie. Just some of the like crazy people at the door. Like when I first saw that, for the next like probably a few months, every time someone came to the door, even in the daytime, I'm like, what the hell? Like who is it? Like get out of here. Like I don't want to talk to you. But yeah, like it just like the way that it's done, just like even like without a lot of music, because I usually don't gravitate to like movies that aren't much of a score, but it actually really works. And to see him just kind of like you have to like pay close attention and see someone with a mask just like appear in the background. And you're like, oh my gosh, what the hell? And yeah, it just really works for me. So I'm gonna say S tier for The Strangers. Let's see what you guys say. Jacob.
Yeah, I really like this movie, but I'm gonna go A tier. And not because I've only seen it the one time. I've actually seen this one a few times. Okay. But there's not like that one moment that I can pinpoint that I'm like, oh my goodness, that I can like some of these other ones that are kind of all timers for me.
They finally get in the house. That does it.
Yeah, that. But yeah, it's like the this could actually happen. And it's like, hey, why are you doing this? Well, because you guys were home. And yeah, it feels like it could happen, and I think that's the scariest thing of all. But yeah, I don't think there's nothing like wrong with it. There's just nothing that wows me about this movie, but I do find it to be just really good. So yeah, I'll go A.
Yeah, sounds good. Jacob Cameron, what do you say?
Have not seen this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that one surprises me actually.
I've seen clips of Prey at Night, and that movie was not good.
Yeah, I kind of skipped that one, but JPO, what do you say?
I like Bright Night actually. I like Bright Night. Well, this isn't my favorite Stranger. My favorite one is where you sit on your hand, it goes numb. Never mind. And you act like it's somebody else. Also. Am I right, everybody? Don't act like y'all haven't done it.
Are you okay, JPO?
Don't act like you've never done it, Jacob. It goes numb. Anywho, and then you're like, "Oh, Susie." But this one's pretty good.
You went through a bad breakup.
I have never done that.
Yeah, we will tonight. No, it is pretty effective. It's not one I go back to often, and I think for an all-timer list, for me, it's more of a B.
Yeah. Wolfman.
Yeah, I also really like Prey at Night. And and think it's actually very underrated, but they're very different. That one's more your campy, fun slasher movie. This one is more your home invasion that's really terrifying. And it actually has one of the scariest scenes I've ever seen in a horror movie, which is when she's just basically getting a glass of water and all you see is the white mask and it's such a good shot of just a white mask there. She's just staring at her like this, just tilting his head, and he's just like, I'm just like, oh my goodness, because that's a fear of mine, is just to have some like in the darkness, just staring at you in your own house. Like there's just it's really, really effective, and I think it's really, really good. So, and it's complete bullshit that they are doing a remake of this movie. This movie came out in 2008, people. What is wrong with it? Like,
wait, I thought it was a
seriously?
prequel sequel. It's a remake?
Like, yeah, a prequel would be fine. A sequel.
No, Rennie Harlan is making a trilogy.
Yeah, Rennie Harlan, baby.
Okay.
When it comes
Rennie
to
Harlan,
play it,
who has not made a good movie since the 90s, is making
I'm
the
sorry.
trilogy of the Stranger
Have
Things.
you not
Yeah.
seen 12 Rounds?
Yeah,
I have seen 12 Rounds, and Rennie Harlan has not made a good movie since the 90s.
Let me repeat myself.
in regards to Prey at Night, to quote Thanos, perhaps I judged you too harshly. Maybe I should go back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
I'm not trying to overrate it, but I found I had good enough fun with it.
Well, in this
But
one, Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman, they just want to enjoy a romantic weekend at this cabin. They can't do it.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Like,
Aren't they more like troubled than
They're more of a breakup mode.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
well, sort of, but I think they go up there to just kind of try to see if they can reconcile.
right.
you know?
Yeah. Like a last ditch attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do, but it's really effective, and so I would say A, because when you're talking all timers, like this is definitely really good. I own it. I own both Strangers movies. It's awesome, but it's not quite exactly like when I think of like the top 10 of all time. It's not one of those kind of movies. So I will say A tier for me. So
Yeah. Austin.
Yeah, I'm coming in the JPO camp on this one. I think this movie's very good. If we narrow it down more to like the like I said, the decades or the pieces of the decades, yeah, I'd go a little higher for it because I do think it's a good quality. I've only ever seen it probably 3 or 4 times. I own it, but it is good every time I watch it. But not one of my personal favorites. Everything pretty much on the board right now, maybe other than Let the Right One In, I would have above this movie. So for that, it's going to be a B for me. So
Yeah, I kind of figured like most of you guys wouldn't be as high on it as me. So that's
yeah. But yeah, so it's going to be around there for now. So we are actually pretty much bumping up right on that 2-hour mark. So we are going to jump into our Hail Mary last chance round here. So for anybody, Cameron, have you been on Tier Ranker with us before?
No, first time.
Okay. So I'll explain how this works. It's not as complicated as it sounded, I promise. Basically, what it is I'll go up and down the ladder, and I'll go one by one and write them down. What you're going to give me is just anything else on the list you believe you want to shout out for S tier or like a very, very strong A tier still on the list that you want to shout out. Probably keep it under 10 if you can. Not too many, but just those ones you're really passionate about. But you'll shout them out, and I'm looking for those crossovers, Jacob. So anything that gets mentioned more than once, I will put on the official board to go around. And what I'll do is any of those movies that get crossed over. So let's say, for instance, I'm just scrolling down. I'm just picking it. Let's say Alien gets mentioned more than once. I will go around and we'll get official votes from that. Everybody will just give me a quick 10-second or less vote on that movie, and I'll put it on the board and see where it ends up. So things could still end up in the S tier. We've had stuff get clean sweeps in the S tier, last minute in the Hail Mary round. It's happened before. Jordan will tell you that kind of stuff has happened. We've had things go directly up into the S tier that just maybe seemed obvious that we just haven't brought up yet or whatnot. So yeah, make sure you guys all look at those lists, see what you got, see what you want to shout out still, and we'll see which ones get those crossovers and which ones get up here on the board at last minute. So let me get my paper ready so I can write all these down. And like I said, we'll go around the horn and get everybody's list from everyone. So let me do this. Yeah, got Wolf, me, and Jordan. Okay, so anybody who's ready, it doesn't have to be necessarily in order. Anybody who's ready with a list,
I got some.
Jordan, yeah, that's fine. You go first.
Yeah,
Sure. Just
I got
give
back
me
then,
give,
so
give
I'll
me
go
about
with-
2 or 3 seconds in between each one. Let me repeat it before you move on to the next one, so you know I'm done, so I can write them down. All right.
So I'll go with It Follows,
It Follows.
and then I'll do Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
I'll go with Alien.
Alien.
I'll go Candyman.
Candyman.
I'll do A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Elm Street.
And then I'll do Hereditary.
Hereditary. All right.
And then I'll say Psycho.
Okay.
And then I'll say The Ring. And how many is that? Is that 8 or 9?
You're brushing up on the 10, so you maybe 1 or 2 more, but that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go with Final Destination.
Okay.
And then I'll throw in The Howling too.
Howling. Okay.
Howling 2.
Yeah.
Howling 2. My sister's a werewolf.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Is there a
sounds good.
Howling too?
Yeah. Oh, there's 6. There's 6 Howling.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's
Oh,
like
wow.
Oh, yeah.
The first.
Yeah, none of them are any good. Only the first one. All right, who's next? Jacob, are you ready down there at the bottom?
Yeah, I've only got 6. So
Okay, so hit me with your 6, sir. What you got?
yeah, so I got Psycho,
Psycho,
I have Alien,
Alien,
Train to Busan,
Train, Busan,
Get
Okay.
Out,
Get Out,
Dracula,
Dracul,
and Hereditary.
Hereditary. Okay, Mr. Cameron, are you ready with a list, sir? Anything, a short list of what you got left, huh?
Yes.
Okay, what you got?
So first up is Dawn of the Dead,
Okay, Man After My Own Heart,
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Man After My Own Heart,
I missed
the
that
Blair,
one.
the Blair Witch Project,
Blair Witch. Okay,
The Wicker Man,
all right.
Horror of Dracula. I wanted to throw that in there.
Okay.
Freaks from 1932.
Okay.
And last one.
Yeah.
I swear. Black Christmas.
Black Christmas. Okay.
Dang, I forgot about Black Christmas. I don't even know if I even remember the name.
If I could, go back. Texas Chainsaw was. I swear I was looking at the list. It was an oversight. I would have added that one as well.
Okay, that's fine. Don't worry, it'll get a crossover because I'm going to say it too. So it'll be on the crossover list. Cameron actually shouted out most of my list. I'll just repeat it back when we get there. No, that's fine.
I'll
That's
just
a good
say
thing.
I forgot to
somehow
say
now.
Black Christmas, but I know I can't add any more. But if someone else votes for it, I'll vote for it, high for
All
it.
right, we'll see what happens. JPO, what you got?
Get Out.
Get Out.
No, you get.
No, you get it. Psycho.
Psycho. Okay.
Exorcist.
Exorcist.
Alien.
Alien.
Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
The Elm Street.
Hereditary.
Hereditary.
And lastly, Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary, baby.
I'm good.
All right, sounds good. Mr. Wolfman, what you got?
All right. So my list would consist of course, being the Wolfman, I will say the Wolfman.
All right.
I will put on there. I will put. I don't think any of y'all have said this, and right now, unless Austin can save it, all of you are out of your fucking minds. You have to think iconic here. Night of the Living Dead. That movie is iconic as hell. So,
Yeah.
No, I'm
And
not
then-
mine. I am.
and then Alien, of course, and then Nightmare on Elm Street, and then again, this is for iconic reasons, Nosferatu,
Oh, good choice.
and then Psycho,
Mhm.
Blair Witch Project, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Suspiria, Black Christmas, of course, Possession. Got to go with that. That one's great. And then
It's a good thing I write. It's a good thing I write fast. You've got way more than 10, by the way, so you're done. Okay. Anyways, all right. Sounds good.
All right.
That's all the ones I had, anyways. So yeah, that was
Okay. All right.
Cool.
All right. I will also go Psycho, Dawn of the Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Wicker Man, Alien, Train to Busan, Horror of Dracula, A Man After My Own heart, probably my favorite Dracula movie. Final Destination, Candyman, and Elm Street.
All right.
But I do like Freaks as well. I was actually rewatching that today just to see, but I do like it. I just don't like it's not one of my personal favorites. So all right. So you guys talk amongst yourselves while I tally up these crossovers, and I'll be back with you guys in just a second. All right.
So, who's seen some good movies lately?
Well,
I've seen 10 pretty good movies at a film festival this past week.
that's right.
So,
Go to
yeah.
festival.
I saw
I'm watching your bullshit origin, Corey, right now.
Hey, I like it. That's
Nice.
That. Hey, if Halloween Ends was on this list, it would get A tier, baby. At least from me.
Yeah, definitely get C tier, baby.
Same here.
Definitely get a
Yeah,
D tier. Fuck yeah.
But
So JPO, instead of watching the Bride of Frankenstein, which was highly recommended, you're going back to
Yep.
Halloween. Okay.
Well, again, I'm watching this background watch. I'm not going to actually throw a movie I haven't seen.
No, that's fine because I watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for the 333rd time yesterday.
And also, he's near
I'll
Halloween.
never understand that.
He's near Halloween season, so he might as well turn on the third greatest Halloween movie of all time during Halloween season.
yeah.
Rob Zombie's Halloween too.
Well,
Oh, God.
for this episode, I watched a movie for the first. I didn't quite make the list, but it was really good. It's called Night of the Demon. So yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a Halloween themed movie.
From like the 50s. Yeah. So it's pretty good.
I was checking out some Chucky blind spots tonight.
I also watched Totally Killer earlier today. That was great.
Yeah, that's like honestly, if they ever do another Scream afterwards, and like that director would fit for
Yeah.
I see. I'm already afraid with Landon taking over, man. I don't want like wacky time travel bullshit in my Scream. So I don't know, dude.
Dude, Landon's like
That's
the
what I was
perfect.
done.
Landon's style is like the perfect choice for Scream, I think.
I
Just
just
go back and
as long as he
With all
keeps
the
the
original
style
cast.
and not the plots. Like so far, everything he's done has always been like either time travel or ghost. Like that's all I'm saying. I just don't want that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I believe I am all set. Okay, I believe I'm set. All right, so we have, let me count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 to get through.
All right.
But
Yeah.
it's okay, but it goes quick because these are just votes, literally like quick, 5-10 seconds votes. Just kind of give me a letter grade for these, and we will see what goes where. These are all the ones that did have multiple crossovers. So we will start with just the first one I wrote down. Final Destination, Mr. Barber.
B.
B. Mr. Cameron.
What was the movie again? I'm sorry.
Final Destination.
Oh, haven't seen it.
The fuck?
Okay.
JPO.
S.
Okay. Wolfman.
I love this franchise, but this is like my fourth favorite in the franchise. I actually prefer 2, 5, and 3 above it. Like I have those 3.
Well, there's Mr. Calamari over here. You can't walk before you run. You know what I'm saying?
So I will say it's way better than the Final Destination. So I would say B tier, like high B, but B.
All right. S tier. Jordan.
And I would have said S. Yeah.
Okay.
Corey's about to kill a kid.
Yeah.
It's 3 and a B, so it's kind of kind of
Good
still got
scene.
3s, but it'll probably get bumped. We'll see what happens. Next will be Train to Busan. All right, so that will be all right. Mr. Barber.
S.
Yes. Jacob Cameron.
Yeah, S.
Okay. JPO.
Fucking Timmy just got it. S.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wolfman.
rewatch that movie.
The only zombie movie to ever make me cry. S.
Yeah, I'll go S.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Wolfman.
I cried
yeah.
during UA Bowl's House of the Dead because it was so bad. I'm like, why is this even a thing?
Yeah.
Oh
So-
god! Don't remind me of that.
Hold on, I'm trying to hear votes. What did Jordan say? S?
S, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, House of the Dead was on our
Clean
worst movie of
sweep.
all time list.
So, Train to Busan
Wow.
is up with Halloween right now for
Yeah.
number 2, above Jaws and The Shining. That's crazy. Okay.
As it should be.
All right, now we'll see. All right, we're gonna go to Alien next, Mr. Barber.
S.
Okay, Cameron.
S for sure.
Okay, JPO.
What do we all know? I'm sorry, I just pulled a Jacob.
Alien.
Oh, S, baby.
Yeah.
All right, Wolfman.
S for sure.
Yeah, I'll say S.
It's an absolute S, yeah.
All right, so
Clean
2 more clean sweeps. Wow. All right.
A slow-moving movie that Jordan loves.
Yeah, what a slow burn that is. It's
kind of
very
like sneaking
exciting.
around by this thing. I mean, remember, I love that Weird Life movie. So
All right, next we will go with Candyman. Mr. Barber.
Haven't seen it.
Seen it. Mr. Cameron.
Yeah, that's an S right there.
Okay, JPO.
B.
B. Wolfman.
I'm not gonna go C for Candyman. I'm gonna go B for I don't know what.
Butterscotch.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll say S.
And I'll also say S. One of my favorite horror scores of all time.
All right. So it's kind of in Final Destination territory for now. Again, we'll sort this out as far as what gets bumped and where when it's all said and done. I'll go back to the chart here. Nightmare on Elm Street will be next, Mr. Barber.
A.
Okay. Cameron.
A.
JPO.
S.
Okay. Wolfman.
S, baby.
Yeah, I'll go S. Jordan.
I'll say S too. I think it's my favorite Nightmare. It's just the original.
Okay, so that'll put it right up near your screen.
And I saw it in a theater, and that made it even more terrifying when I
Yeah,
rewatched
it's good stuff.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'd
I
like to see
saw
more
it
of
in
these
the theater,
horror movies in
too.
theaters.
Yeah, it helps. I wish they would show Dream Wars in the theater, though. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
They are in Charlottesville. It's an hour and a half away from me, but there's a theater in Charlottesville. I think that's showing like
Nice.
the third one. Yeah.
All right, so we're rolling right along here. Hereditary will be next on the docket. Jacob Barber.
It's a little bit lower, but I still have it in the S tier.
Okay, Mr. Cameron.
I'm going A.
A. JPO.
S.
Okay, Wolfman.
A.
I'll go A.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jake. It's a little lower, but it's S for me.
Okay, so a 3 and 3 puts it right near. Let's see. Maybe The Fly. Maybe.
And in the poster too, like when you look at it, you don't know if that little girl's alive or dead. Like for me, at least. Like I kind of wonder.
Okay, next will be Psycho. Norman Bates. Jacob Barber.
S.
Okay. Jacob Cameron.
Big ol' S.
Yes. JPO, Psycho.
S.
Okay. Wolfman.
Just for iconic status alone, it's S. Yeah.
Well, iconic status and the fact that I love it, S.
Yeah, same here. S.
Okay, another clean sweep. We're racking up some clean sweeps.
Man,
here.
yeah.
Well, sometimes you
Been a bunch
don't
of
need
S's,
to.
man.
Sometimes you don't need to talk about the obvious ones.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, we'll have some voting to do later, so this should be interesting.
This is going to be hard.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard. All right, next will be Dawn of the Dead. Jacob Barber.
A.
Okay, Cameron.
S.
Okay, JPO.
A.
Wolfman.
I actually prefer Night, so I will go A. But I still love
One of my favorites, S.
I prefer the remake, so I say C.
Oh,
Wow, dude.
Fuck's sakes. Jesus Christ, you're killing me, Jordan.
The 3D re-release is awesome.
Holy fuck.
Just wait. You haven't heard my most upsetting vote yet.
Yeah, I know what's coming. Yeah,
No,
maybe we can all save it when it gets there.
Maybe.
Everybody else can save it, guys. You know what's coming. You know what's coming, but it's not for another couple of votes.
Yeah.
All right, Wicker Man, OG, Jacob,
B.
Mr. Cameron,
A.
JPO,
I haven't seen it.
Wolfman,
A.
S.
And I also haven't seen the original.
Okay, you should get on that. It's really good.
Yeah.
If you like Midamar, Jordan, you probably should watch it.
Right.
Yeah.
The remake's so bad, it's like I just didn't rush to the original.
But yeah, I told you it's way better. I told you this.
Hold the remake against it, yeah.
All right, next will be Horror of Dracula, Christopher Lee, Jacob Barber.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, we got to see it. Yeah.
S.
That's the original Dracula's called? Horror of Dracula?
No, it's the Christopher Lee in 1958.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, Jacob Cameron,
S.
JPO,
I haven't seen it.
and Wolfman.
So I'm going to disappoint everyone. I own a box that has a bunch of like classic horror movies, and this is in there. But I still haven't seen it yet, so I need to get on that and watch it. It's one of the
Son of a bitch.
few blind spots. I've
You
not
should.
It's great. It's awesome. I'll go S. I love that movie.
And I also haven't seen it.
Fuck. All right, Cameron, we tried.
I haven't
No,
even heard of it before.
It was a good effort.
It's great. Yeah, I have a Christopher Lee box set. It's of his Dracula movies. It's really good.
Christopher Lee's awesome, so like I
Yeah,
watched
he's
I
fantastic.
will watch it eventually because I do
Yeah.
want to release it.
All right, got enough votes last second. We'll go Black Christmas. Jacob Barber.
A.
Okay. Cameron.
That's A.
He said
I'm sorry.
A, I believe.
A. Okay. JPO.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. Wolfman.
That actually really surprises me for something that JPO isn't saying. But I will go. I will go high A for this one. I really like it.
I'll also go A. Jordan.
I'll say S, but it's a lower S for me, but it's S.
Okay. All right, so it'll be kind of low A territory around here. We'll go. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. OG. Jacob Barber.
This is I completely forgot about this one. S.
Yeah. Jacob Cameron.
S.
JPO.
A.
Wolfman.
Absolutely an S.
100% S.
Here we go.
Okay, you're gonna be mad. I hate this movie with a passion. I can't stand it. F. I absolutely hate it. So sorry. I like some of the
F
other
for,
ones, but
F
not
for
that.
fuck off, Jordan.
Yeah, all right, sorry.
Like
Like,
the Price is Right horn. The first one.
the only F I have on this whole list.
Oh my god.
The most terrifying
Really
movie maybe ever made.
Yeah, you need to go watch it in a theater, Jordan, honestly.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the story that
I almost gave it a B, and I was afraid to do that.
It's not about the story. It's not supposed to be about the story. It's supposed to be about like putting you in the experience, and that's what it does.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to rewatch it, but
Anyways, it's really well shot. It's way better than people give it credit for.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you my Blu-ray since I upgraded to 4K, Jordan. You can watch it again.
if you want to.
We'll watch it together.
Yeah, sure.
All right, two more. We're going to go Get Out, Mr. Barber.
S.
Okay. Mr. Cameron.
We get under the desk for this. B.
Okay. JPO.
I mean, you can call me Mr. PL if you want, but S.
Okay. Wolfman.
I know I get a lot of hate when I say I prefer us, but I do prefer us, and so I will say B.
I'm with you there.
Yeah. It's really good. Not an all-timer for me. B.
Yeah, I'll give it an A. I think it's good. Not quite F.
All right, so kind of somewhere in there. And then the final one.
The fact that's the last horror movie nominated for Best Picture, by the way, is a travesty. I just want to say that. Like,
What else should have been nominated?
Like, nothing else in the since 2017.
No, but name something that should have been.
Like, oh, there's a lot. I could think of Pearl.
Hereditary.
I could think of Hereditary. I could
Maybe
think of Midsommar. I could think of there's.
If we're talking,
I don't know if I'd go Pearl for Best Picture.
I'm sorry.
I would have pushed it for Best Actress.
Yeah, that Goth monologue, sure. Movie,
yeah.
Best Picture.
Yeah, for actress, yes.
Yeah.
Last one will be the Blair Witch Project. Jacob Barber.
This might be my hot take of the night. D. I don't like this movie.
All right, Mr. Cameron.
A.
JPO.
C.
Wolfman.
I will. Wow, this is insane to me because this movie is like terrifying, like one of the scariest movies ever made. S. So.
B.
I'll say A, but it's a very high A for me.
All right. So it's kind of it's going to be our B for Blair Witch.
Yeah.
The only one. Yeah. So there you go. All right. So that is everything that had crossover nominations, I believe. So
y'all are insane that we are living in a world of talking about the best objectively, and we don't have Night of the Living Dead on there. Y'all are.
Stop yelling at us, Wolfman.
You need to shut the fuck
when you look at
up.
icon.
No, but nobody ever uses the word objective except for you.
Well, no, but you're thinking about like
what
what are
we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I've only seen it once, though.
I prefer Dawn, man. I'm a Dawn guy instead of a night guy. Dawn is better in every way.
I think also
to you, but we're talking about like objectively.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm talking about me. That yes, I prefer
Real quick
Dawn.
to piggyback off of what Pez said earlier. I think if we're talking influential, sure. I think of all time, and for me,
see, here's the thing: we're going to talk about influential horror movies next week on Rank 'Em.
Right.
And me and JPO, I'm going to nominate Night of the Living Dead for an influential horror.
Probably going to back you. Spoilers,
100%, because it literally because it created a genre. I will agree with that. But we're talking about this is our personal preference list, and I'm way more of a Dawn guy.
So watch Dr. Caligari before y'all do that Rank 'Em, because. That one would be
I can respect that opinion. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Sure. All right. So here's where I got to go. Here's where I got to go back to the chart, and we go back to the votes. So okay, these first four completely safe. They all had clean sweeps, so they are 100% safe. I then go to everything with 5 S votes, which Jaws has 5 votes. Shining has 5. American and let's see, what's the next? American Werewolf. American Werewolf also has 5, but a B. So those we may have to vote between Jaws and The Shining, and then those are our 5. So those 3 are safe. That's 7 right there. So it may be a case where only the 4s then get saved in the S tier. So this is going to be interesting. Scream has Scream 4 and 2. Nightmare on Elm Street has 4 and 2, the exact same. The Thing has 4 and 2, also the same. Bride has 4 and 1, so pretty much the same, just 1 less overall vote. And then so that's 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. So this is going to be interesting. So everything pretty much. Man, I hate to say it, everything pretty much past Bride, or even past The Thing, really, because Bride had the same but 1 less overall vote, which means it probably gets knocked. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everything after The Thing gets knocked down to the A tier. So here we go. Goodbye, Candyman. Goodbye, Final Destination. Goodbye, King Kong. Goodbye, Godzilla. Goodbye, The Fly. Goodbye, Hereditary. Goodbye, Silence of the Lambs.
God, that one hurts.
Texas Chainsaw. So, all right. So All right.
Say
I'm gonna
Bride's
start with.
This is all your fault, Jordan.
Oh yeah, Goodbye Bride as well. Yes. So now
Yeah.
Bride and Texas both had 4 S votes, which is above. And Silence all had 4 S votes. Hereditary had 3. The Fly had 3. So everything after these are the 3 more. So they are the honorable mentions right there. Silence,
Definitive.
Texas Chainsaw, and Bride.
I'm glad Bride's at least an honorable.
So they are honorables. Yeah. So our honorable mentions tonight had 4 S votes. That's insane.
Yeah, that was insane.
So that's what happens. So yes,
That hardly
those
ever happens. Yeah.
Yeah, our honorable mentions right there. So no need to vote on anything else in the honorables. Those are our 3.
Wow, there's a lot of great
there.
movies not in there.
There's some good movies. Yeah, definitely. All right, so Scream, Nightmare, and The Thing all have identical votes. So this is where we get started right here. So what we are going to do is we are going to vote for, let's work backwards on this one. Let's going to say your least favorite out of those 3. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go Scream, Nightmare, Thing. Which is your least of those? Jacob Barber.
Nightmare.
Cameron.
I concur. Nightmare.
Okay, JPO.
3 for 3 so far.
Nightmare. Okay. Wolfman.
Nightmare.
I'll go Scream.
And I'll say Nightmare.
Okay, so Nightmare will get the bump, and we'll do another vote. Let's go which is higher this time, Scream or The Thing? Okay. Higher. Barber.
Higher, I'm going Scream.
Higher. Okay, Cameron.
The Thing.
Okay, JPO.
Pull the trigger. I ain't answering, man. Fuck, Scream, I guess. Shit.
Yeah.
Wolfman.
My number 1 and my number 2 right now. Jeez.
Yeah,
okay.
Jesus.
Okay. Voting off the best. I'm not going personal here. I'm going best. I will say The Thing.
Now I know how Sophie felt. You know what I mean?
I'm also going to go The Thing.
And I'll go with the one where Drew Barrymore eats it in the beginning, that Scream.
All right, that's what I thought might happen. We have a tie.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So if nobody says anything in the comments, we would either flip a coin or we spin a wheel. That's what.
Yeah. If anyone's watching, put in Scream or The Thing. Which
Not
one?
I don't know if Malcolm's
is higher.
watching or anybody.
Hands are on screen. I won't log
Yeah.
in.
No Pierce Co. Real Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
I
right.
didn't make a new account.
Not
10.
10.
YouTube.
We have
Brian with The Thing.
Thing. All right, The Thing.
Damn you.
There you go.
So The Thing at number 8,
mad
Scream at number 9, Nightmare on Elm Street there at 10. So, all right, now we will go to, we have American Werewolf. American Werewolf has a 5 and a B, so it stays exactly where it is. Right there at number 7. Jaws and The Shining both have 5 and 1, so we have to do another vote here. Brian, don't go anywhere. We might need a vote if it goes to a tie. So this time we will go, which is higher for you, Jaws or The Shining, Mr. Barber?
Jaws.
Cameron.
Shining.
JPO.
The Shinning.
Wolfman.
Jaws.
I go Jaws.
You've got to go with the shinin, as Willie, the groundkeeper, says on The Simpsons. The shinin.
All right, Brian, get in the comments. Which one's higher, Jaws or The Shining?
Tie. That kind of.
Yeah.
The tie. Shoot.
This is why I sometimes wish we had 5 instead of 6, but it is what it is. But Brian, we have The Shining.
Oh, said The Shinning, and that's not
The
eligible.
Shining is not an option.
Yeah, right.
All right. Okay, so this is going to be tough to hash, but I'm just going to start with a general vote first. Let's go with your highest 2, and we're going to get 2 votes apiece, and we'll see which ones just get the overall votes. So we got Halloween, Busan, Alien, and Psycho. Give me your 2 highest out of those, because we're not just one. Like, give me your 2 highest ones out of that grouping right there, Mr. Barber.
Halloween and Train to Busan.
Halloween and Busan. Mr. Cameron.
Halloween and Alien.
JPO.
I apologize. Give me the options again.
The first 4 right there. Halloween, Train to Busan, Alien, Psycho. Your top 2.
I'm going to go... Oh, my God. Alien, Halloween.
Wolfman.
So I prefer.
We're not done yet.
So I prefer Alien, but for this and this list that we're talking about, I'm going to say Halloween and Psycho. Those are the two I'll go with.
Halloween and Psycho. I'm going to go Halloween and Psycho. Jordan.
I'll go Halloween and Train to Busan.
Okay, so Halloween is the clear front runner, and it's going to stay exactly where it is. The rest all had 2 votes apiece.
Each one of them.
All right, so let's break it down here. I don't know if this will pan out the same way, but just to ensure that it doesn't, let's do the same thing, but with only 3 options. So we're going to do the same thing. Give me your 2 favorites out of those 3, if that makes sense. Because I don't want it to just be 2, 2, and 2 again. So we're going to go your 2 favorites out of Busan, Alien, Psycho. Mr. Barber.
Busan and Alien.
Busan and Alien. Cameron.
Alien and Psycho.
Alien and Psycho. JPO.
Alien and Busan.
Alien and Busan. Wolfman.
Alien and Psycho.
Alien and Psycho. I'll also go Alien and Psycho. Jordan?
I'll go Alien and Train to Busan.
Alien and Busan. So Alien, clear number 2. We now have a tie between Psycho and Train to Busan. So Brian, get ready because it may come down to you as well again. But let's go around the horn one last time. Busan or Psycho? Barber?
Busan.
Busan. Cameron?
Psycho.
JPO?
This shows you how torn I am. I think I'm switching my vote to Psycho.
It's close.
I can't decide.
And I was never going to switch my vote. I was always going to say Psycho.
Okay, I'm going to say Psycho as well.
And I will go Busan.
All right, but Psycho takes it, and there you have it. That is your final out of the Rolling Stone list. That is your final top 10.
List.
Your honorable mention. But holy shit, look at all that talent in the A tier as well. My goodness gracious, there's some very strong movies in there, and still some some movies that I think we get some love, but maybe not everybody has seen. Some of these, but some still very strong movies, and we didn't talk about Carrie is in there. The Descent is great.
Yeah.
Some other classics: Dracula and Frankenstein.
The Exorcist, not making it.
I was just watching actually Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer before we went live. That movie's very disturbing, very good. It follows is down in there.
The Babadook.
The Babadook, The Ring.
Baby.
The Wolfman. Yeah, all kinds of good movies in there. So just with the different panel. Could have ended up a whole nother way, but let's wrap this thing up, Jordan. What do you say? Should I break it down?
Right.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. If you want to break it down, Austin, and just run down the top 10 and the 3 honorable mentions.
All right, so these are ours. So we based on the Rolling Stone thing, this is our top 10 and our honorable mentions. In the vast lead tonight, John Carpenter's Halloween at number 1. Got Ridley Scott's Alien at number 2. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Number 3, we've got the South Korean zombie film Train to Busan. Number 4, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining at number 5. Steven Spielberg's Jaws at number 6. We've got John Landis and American Werewolf in London at number 7. Another John Carpenter with The Thing at number 8. We've got Wes Craven and Scream, and we've also got Wes Craven with A Nightmare on Elm Street for on the list as well, just like Carpenter. And our honorable mentions this evening: classic Universal monsters, The Bride of Frankenstein, got Tobe Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Jonathan Demme's The Silence of the Lambs. So there you have it. Excellent job, everybody. That's a hell of a list. I mean, look at all that talent in the A tier. I mean, Fly, Godzilla, Dawn of the Dead, 28 Days Later. I mean, holy shit, Body Snatcher, all kinds of good stuff.
Candyman,
I mean, some real strong talent there. So it just shows you the strength of all these movies. When stuff with 4 votes is getting knocked out of the S tier, you got a strong list, as we have been lately. So there you go.
And maybe next year we can think about consulting a different list. I don't know. We can kind of think about what we want to do.
Yeah, we could do. We could find another kind of.
Does Rolling Stone have a worst 100 of them?
You actually could do that. That could be kind of.
We could do a worst horror movie. We could do the F tier of horrors. I don't know.
That'd be fun.
Maybe if I don't know if AFI has a list or something, or I'll consult something else.
AFI has 100 Screams, I think it's called.
Yeah, the AFI has the top 100 movies in general. We could always do that at some point on Tier Ranker.
That would be really fun.
I've reviewed all of those on my channel, so
Yeah, no, there's definitely some classics on there. But yeah, we'll always kind of find a new angle every year.
Brian
Keep
has a good
coming up
idea.
with a different
The
angles.
Rotten Tomatoes score list. That'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
could
do
do the top 100 on Rotten Tomatoes, like as far as just pure
They have
tomatoes.
a good. They have a good.
Actually, some of
too.
the top ones on there would actually be a lot of those Universal horror movies that have like 100% or 98%. You know, things like that. A lot of those have pretty flawless ratings on.
They also have a good one if you ever want to do it by decades as well. Split it up.
For sure.
Oh yeah, we could do that too. Yeah. Because we did a decades one, but if we kind of mix it up and went decades by, I don't know, like the highest like rated movie per decade or something like that. Like
we still haven't finished our one word series yet, Jordan. We got to get back on that at some point.
Yeah.
That's on the docket. I saw one of them.
Yeah, we're getting back to it. We got it in November and
we still got to do 90s and then 80s and then kind of before that, and we'll go from see how many we need to break it up from there. Maybe 70s. We'll see. And then before that.
We took a little break from some series we've been doing, so we'll be getting back to some of the series. We just wanted to focus a little more on horror.
Yeah, no, we got to get out of all these holidays. We got to get out of Scary Movie Month. We got to get out of the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, and then we'll kind of get back.
Is there enough for a Thanksgiving tier ranker?
Not really, no.
Not really, no.
No. And we've done the Christmas tier ranker. We did that the first year we were doing all these. We got to try to mix it up somehow and come up.
Hey, there might be enough for a like a 32 Thanksgiving like bracket tournament. I don't know. One of the tournament
no.
Maybe, but we're going to be doing the top 64 Christmas adjacent movies, just movies that like have like at least like an extended Christmas scene or like take place in and around the holidays, that kind of stuff, you know.
So, that don't have much to do with the plot, that sort of thing, but they're kind of Christmas adjacent movies,
Yeah, so there's a lot of out there, or a lot of those movies out there that you'd be surprised about that are actually like are kind of low key Christmas movies. So but yeah, that was a fun time. It was a great way to kind of round out the horror season, Halloween time. So yeah, and then we can all have Halloween off and just go relax or go party or go.
I don't have
watch or go watch.
Maybe you're working.
Watch Halloween for the 100th time.
Yeah, right.
Everybody does.
I'll be coming home at 1:30 in the morning and watching Halloween. I'll be like that kind of person.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I'm gonna see if there's anything playing in my local theater. I don't know, like any kind of horror movies. So
I know a lot of Regals are playing the original Dawn of the Dead. If you've never seen it, it's a chance to see it on the big screen. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
the 3D remaster was excellent of that.
Yeah, it's not in 3D, but it's but they're just showing it now, just as kind of a regular thing.
Well, I've seen it, but I've never seen it on the big screen. So I go
it's a chance. Go check it out.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that'll do it for us tonight. So we'll just do some plugs and then get out of here. So we'll start with Jacob Barber, Mr. B Rabbit. Where can we find you?
You can find me at the shelter, hosting rap battles with my boy Future.
Put your motherfucking hands up and follow me.
I'm having fights again.
Go.
No,
Michael Shannon.
Yeah. You got fired from a pizza place.
Let's put on my mustache.
I get fired. No, you can find me popping up here, Tournament Fights, Tier Ranker. Lonely Marks will be going live on Thursday, talking Halloween Havoc 96, giving our Crown Jewel predictions as well. And then Wednesday over on twitch.tv/Cassifer, you can see me defending the Twitch TV title against Eric Moreno at, I believe, 10 Eastern. So that should be a good time. We'll see if I can defend or if my win was a fluke. We'll see.
You got this, Barber.
Yeah.
You have to say that. We're in the same faction.
Yeah.
Pepperoni Factory.
Yeah.
No.
But
wait, what's our faction?
We're definitely the nation of defamation.
I totally messed it up. Yeah, nation of defamation.
but yeah, cool.
If you wanted to trade me,
Jacob Cameron, where can we find you?
So at my YouTube channel, all social media at RyanCam20. I'm wrapping up my Scary Mania series where I've done 31 horror movie reviews for all the days of October. That ends tomorrow with my review of David Bruckner's The Night House. It was quite good. So that'll be live tomorrow.
Watch the review now. You just told me.
Yeah.
That was going to be the full review. It's quite good. See you next time.
Well, learn more about that. No. I'm also in combat wrestling trivia on a lot of trivia places and here and other places, so I'm around.
Cool. Sounds good. And JPO, where can we find you?
We'll find you at a new location.
Hey, you're right here. Yeah, let's might see this background or the living room more coming up. So when you're not catching me here on this channel on this Tournament Fights, Lonely Marks on Thursdays. Catch me over at the Periscope. We've been doing some horror stuff recently. We'll be back into a full swing of things, trivia, countdowns. I know me and Barber talked about we're going to do some Blink-182 discussion soon, so that'll be fun. Get back to doing some more countdowns. You'll see, I know we'll do some stuff with Pez and Barber as well. So, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. And Wolfman, where can we find you?
You can find me on my channel, Mega Movies, defending Halloween Ends, since I am Corey Myers here, and you can also, exactly. See, look at that. Amazing movie. So you can also find me right now covering. I have 4 more reviews to go for the Virginia Film Festival that I was attending. So you can find me covering all that. I have a ranking coming up for you guys of everything I saw. So it'll just be kind of a fun festival coverage I'm still doing. And then, of course, November, Award Roundtable will be back in the swing of things because it'll be Oscar season and we'll be talking all the Oscar movies and such. And then also in November, Austin and I have Thanksgiving 3 to do.
Oh God, don't remind me.
For our drinking game. So
how do I get into one of these drinking games? I want to get into one of these.
Dude, if you dare, man, because Thanksgiving was like probably the worst one we ever did.
Yeah, it is. It holds the record. It's 7 beers.
Like 7 beers. Oh my God, that movie's so bad.
I want to take an edible and then watch it with you guys.
Yeah, it was. We got exhausted from drinking just from that.
Yeah,
it was. So,
yeah, and then we'll do a bad Christmas horror movie in December. I'm sure we'll figure out something.
How do these podcasters die? Alcohol poisoning. They were watching the Thanksgiving trilogy.
We'll have to do one of those bad part 3, 4, or 5 of the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies, not even 1 and 2, like just like part 4 with like Ed Asner or whatever or something like that.
Yeah, one of those like bad sequels that came later. Yeah, that would be a great one to do in December. So, yeah, a lot of great stuff there and more that you can find on the channel, Mega Movies. So make sure you subscribe. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, or like one of the remakes of Black Christmas if there's a drinking game.
Oh man.
Oh, we should do the new one, and we should take a shot take a drink every time they mention anything that's like feminist or
social justice warrior stuff or whatever. The message. Yeah.
Just be like,
man, you'll need a kidney transplant.
Yes.
Or a liver transplant.
We've had some where I
would be
so loopy. Funny. Where I could barely make it back to my room, and I'm 12 feet away from it. It was bad. So there is a drinking game. I see. Okay, so we might have to do that. The 2019 Black Christmas. Here it comes.
Oh boy, that'll be the only way I'll ever watch it again. Is
I know. Yeah,
just doing that. So, yeah.
Right. Anyways,
what do you have going?
Yeah, no, I don't have a ton going on this week. I've got a lot of stuff pre-taped that's not out yet. A lot of Battleground stuff that's pre-taped. I'm in the middle of their tournament there, doing pretty well. And I'm in the middle of the Full Metal singles tournament as well, doing okay there. And I'll be on Lonely Marks as well. And other than that, not too much else.
Yeah. And I'll just leave you guys with some wisdom from Mr. Ted Lasso. And say that I promise you that there's definitely something worse than being scared by all these movies and by being sad, and that's being alone. And I promise you that ain't none of you alone. We all got each other, all right? So just don't forget it.
Now smack the believe sign, everybody.
Yeah. But Yeah, but what we have coming up, me and Austin have a lights out trivia match that got postponed till Friday. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern, so we'll be doing it then. Just had that little scheduling hiccup, but and so we'll be doing that right before our mystery tournament that's going down on Friday. So we got that. So if you guys want to see what movies are going to be on the list, you can hit us up, and we're happy to just send it to you. But we encourage you to watch the selection show that me and Austin did, because it's kind of fun to just kind of like hear all our prediction as to whose list we think it came from, and like our like quick little 5-second thoughts on the movies, But
I do find it quite funny that of all the movies that are on there multiple times I feel like that haven't gotten spun yet. Fritz the Cat will make an appearance.
That's fun. Yeah, sure will.
Yeah. You got spun.
Maybe I'll watch it for Friday.
Yeah, right.
That's like I have like 2 blind spots on the list, and one of them is Fritz the Cat. So we'll see if I can squeeze it in.
Yeah. But
funny enough, that's what Fritz the Cat said.
Yeah. But and then you can find us on the social media at Movie Hero 2121 on X and Instagram. You can find our poll with our top 10 and our 3 honorable mentions within the next couple of days. We're in the Schmodown Friends and Family group, where is a good place you can find a lot of what we're up to. We're pretty active over there. And if you have any projects you're working on or a YouTube channel that you do, you're welcome to post your heart's content over there. We'll try to help you out, get you some more subscribers, share out your content, all that stuff. And we'll be doing Wheel of...
Fritz the Cat is on Blu-ray for $20.
But
wow,
we're doing Wheel of Movies on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So if anyone would like to come on, we actually have one more spot. We're going to be doing a 1 hour deep dive on Inception. So it'll be just me and Chris Scott, or if one more person wants to jump on, just let me know. And then... let's see. We will be doing some more Seen and Heard movie trivia probably a week from this Sunday. So I'll be putting one of those together. So if you did not play in the horror match, then you are eligible to be on, except for the winner of the horror match. That person can be on, but that's it. And it was Jonathan Caro, I believe, that was the winner there. So yeah. And then just what we have coming up for tournament fights and tier ranker. We're kind of out of horror season, so what we have for the next month is we have our our mystery tournament Friday that I mentioned. We're doing best DC characters as part of our overall geek series to determine the best geek character of all time. So that's coming up. We have a comedy versus the battle that'll be our own JPO versus Richie Goodacre, and they'll be putting their favorite comedies against each other because they both do stand-up comedy. So, and then we have our best of 2006 ladder series. So that'll be a 3-parter, a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday on that one. We have a couple. We have one versus that's coming up. It's going to be Ryan Reynolds versus Jason Bateman. So all of their movies up against each other. There'll be the change-up match is what we're going to call it. Then we have, for Thanksgiving, we're doing movies about food, restaurants, or grocery stores. So that's like our closest thing we come up for a topic that we haven't done yet for Thanksgiving. So, and then we'll be getting back into the one-word titles. So that'll be November 28th. One-word titles. It'll be a tier ranker. All the one-word title movies from 1990 to 1999, so the 90s. So yeah. And then I'll throw in one last bonus one. We're going to be doing a tier record that's going to be movies where the main plot focuses on someone's job or workplace. So yeah, like a lot of office spaces and like those types of jobs, or movies. So yeah, but
I got to put Boogie Nights on there.
Well,
it's their job.
It is a job, yeah. We'll see. That might be like a last-minute call if we have.
That's unfair. That's unfair. It's their job, man.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a fun time. But thanks again, guys, for joining us for this episode, and I think that is going to do it for us tonight. So for Jacob Barber, for Jacob Cameron, for Jordan Owens, for Michael the Wolfman Wyndham, for Austin Pez Howell. I've been Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and we will see you next time, and happy Halloween.
Bye.